The following show is for mature audiences only. Shy City Sports.
So, what are you saying?
I'm saying that the spit could not have come from behind. That there had to have been a second spitter.
Stick 'em, ha ha ha, stick 'em. Stick 'em, ha ha ha, stick 'em. Stick 'em, ha ha ha, stick 'em. Gonna run the beatbox in the best fucking rhythm. Now with the mind-blowing body rocking DPMC.
I did not see it. I totally missed it. I was looking down when I heard about it.
He's looking down. That's the problem. There it is, Coach.
Completely.
He's looking at his card for the next play.
Just in general, it seemed like discipline was maybe an issue throughout this game and some unforced errors. Do you agree with that? And can you pinpoint why that continues to be an issue?
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. You're right. There is issues there. That's what bothers me, and that's what pisses me off.
Yeah, I think the Bears need to go back to Mitchell Trubisky. This is why. One, Rex, they got a great defense, right?
Yes.
If you're the coach, what's the number one thing you would tell the quarterback not to do?
Turn the ball over, period.
So then,
Protect
since
the
he's come in that Atlanta game, he's thrown for 5 touchdowns and 7 picks.
Like Wims, hopefully he learns from this. But there has to be accountability. Just like you see Jimmy Graham. I'm calling him out. I've been the big Jimmy Graham supporter. What he showed out there today was bullshit.
I think Matt Nagy gets paid to make these difficult decisions, and this isn't working. Like, this isn't right. And on the other side, like, I disagree with Dan. I was kind of hard on the skilled players of the Chicago Bears too, but Allen Robinson can go. And this youngster from Tulane right down the street, Darnell Mooney, he can go. And so if you have a quarterback who understands that, and you have an offensive coordinator, you're talking about geniuses, Rex, they say that Matt Nagy's a true genius.
Big plays are nice. They're good.
I mean, he was birthed under Andy Reid. Well, I can't tell because you're only scoring 17 points a game.
Who's the leader on offense, and what do we get?
Exactly.
You're in year 3 under this head coach, and you don't know who the leader of this offense is? Just like Steve Edwards said, that's a fucking big problem.
I can't believe it. I don't see any rhythm. I don't see any rhyme or reason. You know, a lot of coaches like to have 15 plays that they go into. That'd be a change for him. Just do something different, for crying out loud. This disgrace. How ridiculous. Those linemen are terrible.
So now you bring in Mitchell Trubisky and you scrap what you've learned. You scrap what you know. You take your ego and your pride out of it and you build your offense so Mitchell Trubisky can succeed, so your offense can move. And if you don't do that, you're going to waste this great defense. You're going to waste your window, and you'll be looking for a new quarterback in the offseason, or at least the organization will, and they may be looking for a new head coach too.
I told everybody, Nick Foles is not a starting quarterback in the league.
You said
Anybody that would listen, he's not a starting quarterback. He's an excellent backup. Put him in a backup role. You benched the kid when he was 3-0.
He was actually 2-0.
By the way, this organization, they're brilliant also. They passed on, we all know it, Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes. You traded up to get this kid. Why? Because he is an athlete.
Yeah.
All right? He has a chance. And instead, you just throw him out with the bathwater for Nick Foles. It's a disaster right there. The kid's a great backup. Jeff Hostetler was a great backup.
Right.
Was he a great starter? Hell no. So to me, you made the mistake here. Do you have the guts, Nagy, to do it? Because if not, I hope I hope something happens.
If you don't like what we do, then there's lots of other places for you guys to follow.
This Bears team is fucking terrible.
How do you handle internal discipline versus sort of also waiting for potential league discipline?
Yeah, I really don't know that answer yet. You know, we'll get through that and figure out how that works. I haven't been through that before, so it's kind of new to me. So we'll just wait and see where that's at and collaborate together as an organization and figure out what's next.
Grow some balls. Jesus.
Grow some balls.
Grow some balls.
Man the fuck up, son.
Yeah. Motherfuckers better know.
Draft Doctor Phil and
the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
And so the Bears are sending their compensatory 4th-round pick to Jacksonville for Nick Foles.
No competition.
I know we need to run the ball more. I'm not an idiot.
Keeping it 100.
Open competition.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Chicago Bears select Cole Kmet.
Guess who's back? The two dudes that kept it real. Dynamic duo that you love, the smartest man at Dr. Phil. Breaking down the film, never a problem, kick it straight. Most shows focus on stats, we focus on the tape. We keeping it 100, never running east or west. We coming with that truth, cause that's what our fans expect. Cut off the freaking anchor, moving forward to be free. But don't you worry, Shayne's got the dumbest tweets. It ain't no secret, Phil and Shayne got some haters. But now they're moused up like the true and now and laters. Debaters, claws get kicked like Coach Tabor. Cuts had to be made, we added a barber moderator. Up and down, boys got you double checking. Sad sacks strolling like a fool drunk texting. Flexing on the truth cause you know they'll never change. Real, recognize real, that's what you get with Phil and Shayne. 100's what we do when we're breaking down the Bears. Fuck a play or a captain, all of the up there. The tape never lies, the truth you see, we analyze, so there's no babies like Maybelline. Straight to the truth with acumen and facts. We got a sad nerd, but he's not just giving nerd stats. Car crash, big impact like Max Sack. Every Wednesday night you got the smartest man and Phil back. Now we know you're smiling like a fat kid with fun dip. We're back better than ever and we're keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Keep it 100. Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Keep it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Oh, this is Claudio the Barber, and this is Shy City Sports Keeping It 100. Man, another tough loss. I mean, even with all our mistakes, we still had a chance to win that game. That's what makes it even rougher. But you know what? We got a great show tonight. We got former Bears O-lineman and the center to my boy Grossman, Olin Kreutz. He's coming on. And of course, we got the boys. We got Shayne, the smartest man, Marcel, and Draft Dr. Phil. What's up, boys? What's going on? Where are you?
Claude.
There they are.
There we are.
The timing is still not down. Still not down.
Came in a little. It cut off. Yo.
Oh, did it? I waited too. I waited.
Hey.
And you're all right. Well, Phil's a little blotchy too, so it's all right.
It is. Don't know why.
Yes. The blob is getting you. So Phil's gonna go in and out. What up, Shayne? What's going on?
Man, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. You know, they had it there. They just, this team had them down 13-3. Claudio. You know, you think that they're gonna take that next step, put the foot down on the neck, twist it a little bit, and everything goes downhill from there. And it's typical Chicago Bears at this point. We see it over and over again. You see right before half when they should have had the touchdown, Drew Brees of all people throws behind the guy. So what do? Sean Payton sees it and they're like, oh, all right, we'll run the same play on the other side of the field. And Pagano goes fucking soft, does the same thing, and it's 6 there. And then rather than, like I said, putting your foot on their neck, it's touchdown, come out from halftime. There's no motivation there. There's no sense of urgency at all. It's same old Chicago Bears. You wonder why there's no consistency. It's because it starts up top, and the shit just sprinkles down on everybody else. It's an inept franchise where I'm not sure if football is the number one.
Yeah, that's a very good question, man.
How
Phil,
do
you
I
look
look
better.
now?
You look
How do I
better.
look?
Yeah.
Now
think
we
it
can see you.
Yes.
I think it needed an upgrade because remember we were talking before. Once I closed all the Chrome web things out, came back in, and it did give me that third option that you guys had. So it must have needed an update. I don't know. Because it ain't
Fucks
the
it up for
internet.
me because now I see your face. So
That's it.
if you can take the high def off, I'll be happy.
Well played. Hey, there's never a dull moment in technology in regards to this, avenue that we've gone on in regards to building this network. It's amazing to me. You love technology, but at the same time, it could be so frustrating, Shayne, having happen. But just
comments
like
in the
this
chat.
organization.
It's not Phil's equipment. This is the software that we use. It's a known issue with them that we're working with them.
They're working
almost
with
daily
us.
on. Yeah, trying to figure it out.
It's happening to our other friends' shows. Everybody using, really copying what we started to be perfectly.
Everybody's there now, that's for sure.
Keeping it 100. Everyone's using this software called StreamYard.
Yeah.
And we've been talking to the people that actually run it. They have, town halls and stuff. And so there is a known issue. What's up, Diamond Scott? With regards to this. So if it happens, you just have to go into the backstage and come back on, and hopefully it's frustrating because believe me, the money that I've put into the equipment and the upgraded internet, we've troubleshot everything. Just keeping it 100, getting that shit out of the way as we talk about this shit. I mean, I did 43 minutes of the Tape Never Lies for the Patreon, and then 20-something minutes obviously put out tonight. And Shayne, it's hard to stomach either one of those because of the reality of the offensive line. And tonight we're going to have a great guest on to talk about it even further in regards to the truth in this situation that we got on top of the piss.
You want some
poor
truth
play.
bombs? They're going to be coming tonight. Phil and I drop a lot of them. This guy's not going to cut any fucking corners. He's going to drop it right on your head. Just ask Fred Miller.
He's always in our open.
Yeah.
He's always laughing in our open. I can't wait till he comes on here.
Yeah, Olin is the perfect guest for us. We've had Josh Woods on a few times. He fits the vibe of this show, and Olin is another one. Right from Jump Street. They get it. They're not going to pussyfoot around. They're going to come out swinging, and that's exactly what this franchise needs. Enough with the media that won't ask the tough-hitting questions. We're going to answer. We're going to get everything answered here tonight with a guy that's there, with a guy that knows that organization inside and out.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Thunder Girl, about your brother. I see you in the chat throwing that message up there, Claudio. Yeah, it's tough. The Chicago Bears are kind of your therapy through life. You got the presidential election, all the question marks there. You got the Bears, all the question marks there on the offensive line, the quarterback position. People are wanting to see Mitch, as you saw in the open that I produced with Rex Ryan and Orlovsky. And now Mitch is hurt. COVID has attacked the 2/3 of our offensive line.
It's attacking everywhere, man. I mean, San Francisco, it's definitely expanding.
It's unfortunate because now this is a real question for you, Shayne. Spriggs is playing, but he's got COVID, so now he's blocking the Saints players. They're not going to be COVID.
You saw Detroit put Matt Stafford on COVID-19 list earlier tonight because he's been in close contact. So there's a chance that they may be able to pull him off the COVID list for the game on Sunday. Matt Nagy talked about it today with Jermaine Ifedi. It kind of sounds like they're expecting him to be able to play on Sunday where they can pull him off. Mm-hmm. And we'll see if Cody Whitehair is going to be pushed in his rehab a little bit to see if he can just get out there and gut it out, because these guys are getting to the bottom of the barrel. But the thing about it is, Phil, where I'm going to put some silver lining into this, head coach hasn't been the one to make the changes. Injuries have dictated it, and sometimes that's the best thing that needs to happen. You get some of these young guys in there that are hungry, you may be surprised, because it can't get much worse.
It's really... I don't know what they're going to do, to be perfectly honest. You saw your GM. He didn't do shit on the offensive line.
Yeah.
He didn't make one move.
No.
And listen, I don't know if there was opportunities for him to do anything, but the reality is you have to notice that this team is so poorly coached fundamentally on the offensive line. And to be able to be successful just with anything offensively, your offensive line has to know their assignments. They have to know the front. So the more you change, now Mustafa's hurt. Now who's the center? I'm listening to Nick Foles. Yeah, well, we're sitting with the centers. Who's playing center? Who is playing tackle? How are you going to handle this? The coach is well over his head. We've talked about this in regards to Coach Nagy. It bothers me. It bothers me. Is my connection bad again?
Yeah, you're lagging out pretty good.
Oh my Lord. It's not a connection thing. Jeez.
Close out everything that you have that's not StreamYard, Phil. That's where I'd start.
I did. I closed everything. I can't figure.
Here, Shayne, I got a question. You got a question. I think he's in the wrong podcast here. What is this?
Has MLS what now?
Yeah, it's an MLS question. Has
the MLS league become more popular than it was 10 years ago in the United States?
I think you stumbled into the wrong podcast.
Absolutely.
I cannot say your name. I would if I.
We're gonna call him Scuba Steve for the sanctity of the show. Scuba Steve, this isn't a soccer show. I'm really
sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry to disappoint you, bro.
But I put you up there. I kind of answered the question.
There he is.
Well,
Phil, you missed it. We got a soccer question.
Yeah, this actually is for you. Here. I was gonna put it for you, but then you had to
not put a sock. I saw it pop up. I'm like,
it was just a joke.
The MLS is Jesus Christ. It seems like one of your buddies from the past coming in. I don't know. No, I can't answer the MLS. I've never even seen a game on television. Do I look better now?
You do.
Anyway, like I was saying, there's so many issues in regards to just the team starters. Now you're going into backup issues, center issues, all around issues in regards to this football team. And the quarterback, now you got the backup quarterback, Mitch Trubisky. People were calling for him to possibly replace Nick Foles.
Yeah,
So
you see, we can break some news here, Phil, for the fans before Olin comes on with us. If you want to drop a little breaking news.
Let me drop the breaking news. We haven't done this in a while.
I know. There's been no news.
Breaking news. The tape never lies. Network breaking news.
So, with Mitch Trubisky expected to miss time, the Bears are bringing quarterbacks Jake Ruddick and Kyle Sloter for a workout per the transaction wire. You know, this is something, Phil, we've been talking about for a long time with this team. For whatever reason, they have this belief in Tyler Bray, and I mean, I don't think it was a very good vote of confidence that Matt Nagy gave to Bray today. You know, he's been around for 8 years. Well,
8 years.
He's been around for 8 years, and he's horrible. Just because he knows the offense, I don't care. You shouldn't be eating up a roster spot. He's not a good quarterback. We've seen that. They need to bring in somebody to get somebody, you know, with some youth, maybe as limited upside as they have. It's still better than nobody. on this team. Slaughter is a guy that's been in the division for a little bit. Ruddock, I know, is a guy that they actually had some interest in the draft, believe it or not, but we know the Bears in drafting quarterbacks. There hasn't been a Ryan Pace thing. He talks about it an awful lot, but he never pulls the trigger. But I don't know if you have any thoughts on those guys, but I think you would agree with me that they do need to bring in somebody to get them at least in the system.
Well, this is another shot at Ryan Pace because he's promised every year we're going to make quarterback a priority and you should take one in every draft. Now you don't have anybody that you've taken to develop, and you're sitting there with somebody handpicked by Coach Nagy that has limited experience in the NFL as it is. So
yeah,
that in above itself sucks.
Phil, I see that this is H.L. Priest made this comment that Mitch is not hurt, and I've seen this on Facebook. I've seen it on Twitter. Yes, Mitch is hurt. Let's put this to bed right now. Mitch Trubisky is a free agent. There's no upside at all for the Chicago Bears to say, oh, we're going to pretend like he's hurt so we don't have to deal with a quarterback debate. Mitch and Mitch's agent would be screaming from the rooftops if that were to happen. He's a free agent. This is his third shoulder injury in 3 years. If it was fake, they wouldn't want that news out there with him hitting the free agent market. So if anybody believes that, I'm gonna ask you, well, what is the upside for Mitch and his agent if this was to be some big conspiracy theory? No, Mitch came in for one play. Phil, we talked about this on BHL. Mitch hasn't been as confident a runner as he was earlier on in his career since his 2 shoulder injuries. You can see him thinking, you can see the wheels spinning on, should I go down this way? Should I go down that way? Should I get out of bounds? And he gets caught in between. He went down awkward again versus the Saints. It took one play, and this is the second injury to his throwing shoulder, and it's obviously an issue with him.
Yeah, no agent is going to allow a conspiracy. They would pop right in there because they're concerned about the next contract and the next team that's going to want to sign him. So that, well said by you. I saw you text that earlier today about a lot of people making that assumption, if you will, that somehow this is some conspiracy that Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace have developed in order to get people from what you saw, Rex Ryan and Dan Orlovsky talking about. You got Louis Riddick on Monday Night Football speaking out on this. A lot of people, Ryan Clark, obviously he was in that too, talking about changing up your offensive philosophy to meet the talent of your team. So some of that in the open, Shayne, real quick before Olin gets here, makes sense. They have some sort of understanding that philosophically your offensive line is terrible. So wouldn't it benefit the Chicago Bears to get someone who's more mobile that can change the philosophy of what you're doing? And my answer to that, and I want to see if you agree, would be that I don't think Matt Nagy is a fucking good enough coach to do what his players do best.
Right. No, I totally agree with your thought process there, Phil, because we've seen it play out in front of us. I mean, Matt Nagy is not going to be a guy that's going to fit what he has in personnel and put them in the best positions. Matt Nagy is a guy that wants to force feed a baby with a shovel. He wants his system. He doesn't want to conform the system to the players that he has. He wants what he wants, and that's literally one of the worst type of coaches that you can have on a team. It's fine. You can be a leader of men. You can build a great locker room. You can be perfect with that stuff. Matt Nagy is not a good play caller. He's just not at this point. I mean, it's Phil. You've been on this earlier than anybody. We've talked about it over and over and over again. Now the masses, the national media and everybody are starting to buy into it, and this is something that we've talked about for years. Even there, we held his feet to the fire, Phil, back in 2018. Even when they were playing well, when he was coach of the year in the NFL, there was still legitimate questions with Matt Nagy. So it's
you can't. I've said this before on the tape, Never Lies. I've said it on BHL. You can't have a BU culture and then expect everybody to play together. It's like the two opposites. It's like a magnet, like on opposite ends. It pushes. It makes no sense. Does that even fit? I agree. He's not a good leader of men. He's somebody that can capture lightning in a bottle when things are going well. We've seen those guys before. Mark Trestman, Dick Durant. I saw this guy for who he was since the beginning. I saw who David Montgomery was since the beginning. Now everybody's changing their narrative. We've always been the same. And the reality is with Nagy, it just can't get worse. And then it does. Like, I'm watching this guy. I mean, if you watch the tape Never Lies today, you looked at that play, the jet sweep, toss forward to Anthony Miller, Shayne, inside the fucking 12-yard line. Like, what kind of, like, only person I know that would run that play possibly is some fucking lunatic like Mike Martz. Like, a kid on Madden might run that. Like, this is a head coach running that play after you're driving down the football field. And it's over and over. It's not like that was the first time it's ever happened, Shayne.
Right.
It happens over and over and over. And then finally, you'll run a play that's intricate in football philosophically to the talent of your team, where two tight ends running down the seam has yet to happen. You finally got a penalty running a tight end through the seam in the red zone, for God's sake. It's so frustrating to watch somebody who's so focused on plays and not being a head coach, that's why this situation is the way it is. I mean, I've been around coaches my whole life. It's the best ones that can adapt to the players, their philosophy. If you can't adapt your philosophy to the players that you have, and you only have your philosophy, and that's it, then that ship is going to sink. It's like, I'm only going to put gas. I'm only going to put this kind of gas. Well, the BMW needs the premium. You can't just keep throwing the shitty gas in there and think it's going to fucking work. It ain't. And that's what this guy continues to do. Like, real quick, I know our guest is in the green room, right, Claudio?
Yes, and that's why I'm coming on. It's my cue. Speaking of premium, we got premium center Olin Kreutz waiting in the wings. But, of course, Phil,
we only do it one way.
The right way. Yeah.
I want to say this before I introduce our guest, because this fucking guy is not only one of the best centers I've ever scouted or saw, and I'm glad he's hearing this because he deserves it. He is somebody that keeps it real and expects everybody to come and rise to the level of him. So those teams that you saw that might not have been as talented, they rose to the occasion because of one person. And that was this guy that's coming on the show. And nobody deserves this intro more than him.
Let's be honest, Bears fans. When we see number 57, we think of one player. And that guy personified exactly what it means to be a Chicago Bear. He once went upstairs to tell Lovie Smith that they needed some help on their offensive line or they were gonna be in trouble. The front office responded by signing Frank O'Meal instead. 100 crew, rise up out your seats and stand up for Chicago Bears royalty. The former Crusader, the former Husky, the future Hall of Famer. He's Olin Kreutz.
Nobody deserves it more. The real deal, Holyfield. There he is. The legend. Number 57, the captain, Shayne. Olin Kreutz. Welcome to the new house. The tape never lies. Keeping it 100 with us. Thank you for coming on tonight.
What's up, guys, man? You guys catching me good? I'm cutting in and out sometimes, so.
Yeah, we
can hear
right
you.
on.
We can
Right
hear
on.
you. Yeah, we appreciate
Did you
coming
sign the contract yet to come play center in Nashville this weekend for us?
Then the Bears would be in real trouble.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think it can get worse, man.
maybe one or two plays, but after that, I need a sub.
We'll take it. We'll take it.
Listen, we'll just put you on the fucking goal line. That's where we need you. Just get the front blocked.
I'll uncoil. I don't know what will happen, but I'll uncoil on that goal line. There'll be no drop steps. I'm gonna let it go. If the guy moves, I might be in trouble.
Well, you're the epiphany and the epitome, rather, of the issues that reign on this team. I mean, you are the penicillin, I believe, to the problem here. Let's talk about this offensive line, and let's start right there at the center position. Last time we talked with you, we were on another network, so I thank you for coming on the new network, and you talked about James Daniels and the potential there. That freaking kid went, looked in the mirror, and came back body beautiful and physically was out there balling until, unfortunately, he got hurt. He was clearly, to me, our best offensive lineman. I know what you said about this football player, but then they kept Whitehair in at center. He gets injured. Now this kid Mustafa comes in. He's injured. I don't know what the Bears are going to do at the center position, but talk about the importance of that, especially that position in the Matt Nagy run game philosophy.
Yeah, and I'll start with James because I don't know how you guys felt, but I felt he was probably their second best football player on their offense. You know, only behind, you say, Allen Robinson, but James was up there, man. I mean, he was competing for being the best ball player on their offense, on an offense that doesn't have a lot of good football players, as you guys well know. So Cody Whitehair, they kept him at center. I thought that was a mistake. I think James would have developed into a really good center. I know a lot of guys who I talked to who watch offensive line play couldn't believe the one-on-one blocks he was making at center. But anyway, they stuck with Cody. I thought Cody was really struggling. I thought they looked good against Detroit. I thought they looked pretty good against what's turned out to be a pretty good defense, the Giants, but against very vanilla looks, right? And then looked about midway through the second quarter, Atlanta said, that's enough. We're going to run blitz these guys, throw some run stunts at them. And since then, the Bears have really been struggling with these run blitzes and run stunts. Carolina almost exclusively threw cross stalls at them on first down. I know you guys watched the film, so I know you guys saw that. And they never really recognized it and picked it up. So it became a problem of, well, now the center's got to start recognizing stuff out there, man. He's got to direct traffic. He's got to make the calls, put everybody on the right guys, right? And then Sam Mustafa comes in last week against the Saints, and they averaged 4.2 yards a carry. And I don't think that's by accident. Although Sam may not have the physical skills Cody has, Sam is a very intelligent center. I know him really, really well from my time at Notre Dame with Harry. Been working with Sam and some in the offseason, so I'm a little biased, to be honest. But he gets his knee nicked up, right? And now, I'm hearing it may be Alex Bars. They're going to try at center, but what that tells you is they really don't have an answer, and that goes all the way back to the way the team was built in the offseason. Yep. And we're not going to go out and knowing you guys as well as I know you guys now. I know this has probably gone over in your podcast too many times, but to say that, I think what Ryan Pace said was Juan Castillo. You guys are underestimating what the signing of Juan Castillo means, and everybody knows that me and Harry Heastan are really good friends, but I am also really good friends with Donovan Raiola, assistant O-line coach. So I still cheering for the offensive line success, obviously.
Right.
And it just didn't make sense to me because the NFL is about players and coaches. And so if you put so little resources into a position that's already pretty bad, now you get any kind of injuries, and now we are where we are, and it doesn't look very good.
Well, Olin, we had your former teammate back in the day, Steve Edwards, on last week with us, chopping it up a little bit. He was talking about you, and everything was good, by the way. But
Then he was lying.
He said everything was good because he was afraid of you.
Yeah, he goes, yeah, we didn't want to mess with Olin.
He told us a story where you just smacked him in the head.
Yeah, he goes, he'd call motherfuckers out in practice right from the start of practice.
I'm a firm believer in creating chaos with it.
Yeah. But what he was talking about, and we talking about it here a lot, and Phil's been on it for years, even back to when he signed his extension. But number 72, Charles Leno. When you're seeing him, what is Olin Kreutz, who's been on the offensive line? What are you seeing when you see Charles Leno?
I see a guy who's struggling, he's not playing his best football right now. It seems to me like his stance has changed a little bit. I don't know why he's messed with that, but obviously losing James, having Rashad Coward next to you, who was a defensive lineman, played right tackle, played right guard, now playing left guard, struggling to pick up games, that doesn't help. Sometimes I see a guy trying to do too much. I see Charles Leno trying to do too much. Sometimes you got to settle in. I've been caught up in that myself, where, gosh, I'm the only guy left. I'm going to make huge blocks. Sometimes you just got to settle down and do your job. And look, Charles Leno is at his best an average left tackle in the NFL. If he's playing very good football for Charles Leno, he's an average left tackle. So any step back from that, now you're talking about a below average left tackle. And that's what we've been getting. And look, O-line is never a mystery, right? It's fundamentals, it's footwork, it's angles, it's get your hands inside. Don't try to do too much. Just do your job. I was watching your guys' breakdown on Mr. Trubisky's run. And what he's trying to do there is he's trying to do too much.
Exactly.
Block the down guy. You have to trust that Rashad's going to do his job. You trust that he'll do his job. I understand you got a new left guard, and Rashad is really struggling there. But if you try to do his job and your job, first of all, Leno, you're not good enough to do that. There's some guys who are. Zach Martin, I would say Zach Martin for the Cowboys could maybe do 2 or 3 jobs. He's a Hall of Fame right guard, probably a Hall of Fame offensive lineman, amazing football player. That's not Charles Leno. So Juan Castillo needs to go to Leno and say, we just need you to be a solid left tackle for our football team, and that's what will really help us.
I thought Shayne was going to ask you this, so I got 2 questions. Steve talked about you seeing Leno with wearing sleeves. He said that is a huge no-no as an offensive lineman.
I believe in the history and the tradition of the Bears, and Big Cat told me that. Big Cat said, we don't wear sleeves. A kid from Hawaii I went to Seattle first, which isn't as cold as Illinois, but came to Illinois and wanted to wear sleeves, and Big Cat said we don't here. So that's tradition. That's history. And I don't know who Leno might have played with, or I know Kyle Long, them all wore sleeves sometimes too. So, I try not to get into all that stuff. You would hope that the tradition and the history of the Chicago Bears would pass down, but it hasn't. Now, if you're asking me if I was in the locker room, if I'd say something, I 100% would. That would be 100%. I would say something about the fact that we don't. And furthermore, what people don't understand about football is, and I always tell people this, who say, man, I can't believe you didn't wear sleeves. And I say, it's your core and it's your hands. It's nothing to do with your arms. Exactly. You're not going to be cold anyway. So all you got to really do is, wear the sleeveless warm shirt, wear the gloves, wear whatever you got to wear. But the sleeves don't help you anyway. So to me, it was just a tradition. It was just all you have to do is tell me once. And Big Cat told me once that we don't wear sleeves. And guys didn't wear sleeves back in the day, so we just didn't do it.
Well, you are hitting a point of tradition. And I feel, just to speak on it for real quick, then I want to ask you this question, but you are the epitome of tradition and understanding the importance of it. That's really something when you watch the tape. I mean, offensively, you guys didn't have the greatest skill players. You didn't have the greatest quarterbacks ever, but you certainly had an attitude. So when you look at this football team, and I know you, so I want you to keep it a buck, keep it 100 on Keeping It 100. If you saw your teammates loafing on rundowns or pass protection or whatever it was, is it your responsibility in your mind to call it out, or is it your position coach? Is it the head coach's responsibility? Give me your truth here.
As you guys know, from being around football, coaching football, playing football, it's everybody. It's a culture, right? It's a culture that's created, starts with the head coach, passes down to the assistant coaches, and then it's the leaders on the team, and then everybody's got to be pushing that this is how we are, this is what we do. And I've said many times this year that this offense needed to get in a room and decide and be honest with themselves and say, look, we are not very talented. And I've said this before. You go through their starters, 1 through 11, and just give them a yes or no. You're going to get a lot of no's, a lot of like, you could probably do better at that position right there. So what do you have, right? You have effort, you have details, you have I'm just going to give every play 100%. I'm going to play right on the edge now, not on the Javon Wims edge, but right on the edge of physicality. Right? I'm going to play right there. I'm going to play right on that edge. But, you know, a lot of that starts with, you know, even with a run. I'm going to be a running football team. And one of the problems I have is, well, we want to run the ball. We want to run the ball. Well, okay, now when you sign Jimmy Graham as your starting tight end, then I don't really care what words you're using. You're telling me you're not trying to run the ball, okay? If you suit up Ryan Nall and Cordell Patterson, I don't care what you say about running the ball. You're not trying to run the ball. If you line up on the first play of the third quarter against the Carolina Panthers and you're in I formation and Ryan Nall is your fullback and he's lead blocking, well, you're lying to me about this whole run the ball and we want to be physical and we want to hit guys, because those, not that those guys are bad football players, but those guys don't scream to me, we want to run the ball, right? On first and second down, I want to see Cole Kmet out there if you're serious about being a dual threat, run the ball and pass the ball. So the players, I think, are just as responsible, but it needs to be pushed from all levels of a football team that this is who we are, this is our personality, this is our attitude. And if all you're worried about is scheming pass routes, well, then that's going to come out as what kind of football team you are, and this is who we are. And you know, I know this is where we are nowadays. But you know, there's all this club dub, and if you're winning, do it right. Do all that club dub, do all that stuff. But there's got to be a little bit of toughness, a little bit of effort on your football team, especially if you lack talent.
Olin, one of the things that we've talked about here, and I know you cover it every single week, and you hear offensive genius with Matt Nagy and all this bullshit. After 40 games that he's been here as the head coach, you know, regular season games, what offensive players have improved under Matt Nagy's watch?
Yeah, you would say only Allen Robinson was playing pretty good football, and James Daniels was on his way.
We talked about it here on the show, and we came up. We said that Allen was good before he got here because he's had the big season. But James Daniels was the one guy on the list that we came up with. And after that, you're in year 3, and we're talking about 2 guys now. That's a big time issue.
The issue with the offense is really no secret, right? Like if we go back and we say, okay. I'm going to look through why are the Bears been so bad? Well, let's look at the draft from 97, 98, 90. Just go all the way back and you'll figure out why. First of all, the Bears haven't been good. And I just think that there's not really a lot of honesty throughout the offensive side of the ball. This is who we are. This is what we need to be to succeed. You know, what are the formula when you look through the NFL and the history of the NFL? When you have a defense like the Bears have, the formula is to try to control the ball, run the ball downhill, punt it away when you have to, and don't turn the ball over. Well, the Bears are, I think, -1 going into this weekend. They're not going to win games. They're -1. They have to be around +6 or +7 to be in this playoff hunt, I would imagine. But the defense is pretty good. And look, the opportunities are there, right? Roquan Smith in overtime, Eddie Jackson in overtime. Khalil Mack's 2 sack fumbles now, back-to-back weeks. We don't pick up either one. Tayshaun Gibson, right before the half against the Rams, swats it down instead of catches the ball. You guys have seen all of this. So that's the kind of team the Bears, I would imagine, have to be. So like, one of the sacks in overtime was 2nd and 6 or 4, I think. And all of a sudden we're running a 7 or 8 step drop and everybody's running deep. Allen Robinson's coming over, I guess, on a 12-yard over route, which I guess, Foles could have got out. But look, when you got Spriggs at right tackle and Fetty at right guard, there's going to be protection problems. And if you tell me with that offense line, you tried it out there on Sunday afternoon, that they're going to throw the ball 40 times, I'm guessing 5 to 6 sacks. That's my first guess.
Jeez. Let me ask you this about the coach. You just drummed it up in my head. You've been in there. You've played with Mike Martz and all of these offensive coordinators you've had an experience with. So with this guy, I've never seen it in my life. It's so pathetic, to be honest. As a football coach, as a coach's son, just watching this, it gets me so frustrated by the coach's decision to not help these tackles and just continue to go empties and 4 wides and no help for the quarterback or anybody. As a player, did you ever have to go to the offensive coordinator or the head coach? We can't do that. We can't do. Have you ever had that? Because right now, we have a bunch of puppies out there getting destroyed on Sundays in what you said, with a defense that's championship quality. Championship quality.
And where are the screens, right? Like everything.
They can't even run one.
Well, I think that one they tried to run the first drive when they picked it up was a fumble. Anyway, their execution on screens are horrible. If I'm the Chicago Bears, that may be the biggest part of my practice right now. It's because of the offensive line I got. Are like you're talking about, help protection, so everybody knows what they're doing. Spriggs was like he was trying to help too much on that one sack. I think it was Demario Davis, and he just let him go free. Demario Davis paused a little bit, and then that screen they tried to run Montgomery. It didn't fool anybody. So that would be a big, because that's what our offense needs, right? We need those kind of plays to take pressure off our offensive line. That's not very good. The one team that this team, I'm hoping, kind of reminds me of is 2010. It was my 13th season. We went to the NFC Championship game. We were horrible on offense. In the beginning of the year, I think against the Seahawks, we gave up something like 8 or 9 sacks, 7 or 6 in the first half. It's because we had a ton of confusion on blitz pickup, on third down, on our nickel protection. We called it ARC. That was our max protection out of nickel. And Mike Tyson, Mike Martz were arguing about what the exact rules were. So everybody was confused, right? But we got better and better as the year went on. And we understood that we weren't very good, right? I think it was Jamarcus Webb was at either right tackle, and Frank Omiyale
Taco Tuesday.
It was. Listen, I used to line up and just say, man, and we had Greg Olsen as our tight end, who is a very good tight end, but he's not a block at anybody. So, but the one difference between that team, even as this team, is that we did have Matt Forte, we did have Devin Hester, we did have Johnny Knox. So we had some explosive players who could get down the field. This team, Mooney's kind of coming along. He's a fun kid to watch play football. Really fun. Him and Cole Kmet and Montgomery give you a little bit of hope if everybody keep getting just better and better. And that's what this offense needs to do, man. You have to almost accept what you are, right? It's like being in a street fight. Like, if a guy is better than you is standing up, well, tackle his ass, right? Put him on the ground. Exactly. If the guy starts bobbing and weaving and moving his head and he makes you miss 3 punches, this is not the guy to stand up with, right? So the Bears have to accept, to me, what they are. They're not an overly talented group, so they have to give effort. They have to demand almost perfection out of each other. I mean, we can't get delayed games. Ryan Nall cannot, with his, it's a great example. With Ryan Nall's talent, you have to know how to line up. You just do. Like, if you don't know how to line up, then I have to replace you on game day, okay? Jimmy Graham, we can't have false starts. I mean, you're not coming off the ball hard anyways, so there's no need to have a false start out of you. This offense can't put this up in a chains. Wims, we can't have a two-piece out of nowhere. We can't have to,
we gotta get into that.
But but credit to this offense, when you watch them, you're like, man, all of a sudden you don't even know how it's 23-23, but it is, right? And they scored 13 points, I think, in the first quarter. They go right down the field, score a touchdown, kick a field goal, tie the game up, and it's so hot and cold. But you see that sometimes when you watch them, you're like, there it is. Like take those drives, and this is who you have to be.
Olin, do you think the lack of aggressiveness by Pagano, you talked about right before half, that touchdown? I mean, Drew Brees threw the first one. It should have been a touchdown. He threw behind the guy, and then they went right to the other side of the field, essentially the same play. But Pagano had Johnson. He wasn't even in the fucking frame of where the guy caught the football on the TV feed. But do you think that the passive approach is all because of the offense, where he knows that he just can't get beat over the top for a quick strike? Do you think that where that's coming from? Because when Chuck first got here, it was always, we're going to get our guys going this way. We're going to be attack, and we're just not seeing that.
Yeah, and I think what you said is exactly what it is, and I think Dave Wanstead has said that, and Dave Wanstead knows Pagano pretty well, so I'm thinking that has been said to him, that we cannot give. We just know that if we give up points, we just got to play a bend but don't break style. If we fall behind 14-0, we've probably lost the game. So I think it has a lot to do with it. Now, with that being said, there has been communication breakdowns and coverages. You can see it. That looked like some sort of cover 3, and then the linebacker didn't get depth, and the safety left, and Jalen Johnson looks like he has to squeeze the receiver on that play, and he didn't. He didn't squeeze Cook, and the crazy thing is, I think they ran it on the other side the play before.
They did, and Brees threw behind them, a little bit.
Yeah, so, and there's been a couple coverage breakdowns you've been watching. And Tayshaun Gibson, who I thought had an excellent start to his year. Last 2 games, there's been some communication problems, especially in that secondary. So hoping they get back to the level, because like you guys know, they're going to have to play at a very high level for these Bears to go where we all like to see them in the playoffs, and maybe still a win once everything starts all over again. So takeaways and this defense, I thought the secondary, honestly, in the first 4 or 5 games was the strength of their team, especially in that red zone. They were lights out, man. There was nobody open in the red zone. So hopefully they get back to that. I can't have them start going the other way right now mid-season, because that would not be good for the Bears if teams start putting it in the end zone when they get down there in the red zone, because the offense has a hard time catching up. And the thing with the Bears is, like you guys know, it seems like the last 2 teams have put on film what they struggle with, and now they're going to keep seeing that when they hit the red zone.
Absolutely. Listen, you were known as somebody that not only was a leader of men and fans loved you, you were the captain. So let's talk about the secret spit and the 2-piece. Everyone jokes about you, taking it to Fred Miller, but that was off the field. This situation, obviously, the guy pulled his mouth guard out. The NFL didn't put it on the All-22. They deleted it off, so I was looking forward to seeing it, but they didn't put it out there because I wanted to see what transpired. Javon apparently said that he was spit, but I'm hearing that that's bullshit. That the dude did pull out his. Someone's done that shit to me.
Yeah, you see that he did grab it. He grabbed it and ripped it off, but I didn't see. So, if a dude spits on you, there's gonna be some.
You're gonna be immediate reaction to a spit. Right. That's a whole. Listen, anyway, I don't want to get into my story, but your story. This is a team game. For me, I spoke on it. A lot of people are. About 70% totally agree with me. There's no place for that. You take that shit out between the hashes between the whistles. And that's where I was coming from. You're the captain, though. Speak on what you saw and what you thought of that whole piece, and then talk about Coach Nagy's handling of it.
Yeah, from a guy who obviously had my own issues, both issues I had, I had one in college too where I got suspended. Both were off the field. When you're on the field, you're trying not to hurt your team. I was thrown out of one game against the Washington Redskins. I think it was like 2000 or something. Blake Brockermeyer, if you guys remember his name.
Yeah, left tackle.
Texas.
He cut a D lineman and knocked himself out. So the D lineman for the Redskins was beating him up. So I jumped in. while Blake was getting knocked out, he was getting punched. But that was a whole nother NFL, right? You remember that NFL guys?
Oh, yeah.
Running
Oh, yeah.
after plays. And, so the thing that confuses me when I watch the film of Javon Wims was I think a couple plays before 22 is lined up right over him, and it's a run play. And if you had a problem with that guy, I would think that at that time you're trying to take his head off. I mean, but he barely even touched him on that play. So that's what really confuses me was you had a shot right there, and I don't know if that's when everything happened was just the drive before, but there's also the argument that look, this guy's been punched by like 2 or 3 different guys, and has had a bunch of problems. So maybe this guy does need a punch in the face, but I would tell Javon Wims that if you really want to fight somebody, it's kind of like starting a fight in class at school, right? If you start it in class, the teacher's just going to break it up. So why don't you go in the parking lot? He's got to come out of the locker room at some point. If you got that much of a problem with this guy,
Exactly.
just take it to the parking lot. That was the old NFL. Everything was meet you in the parking lot. So that's kind of the school I come from, and I just can't imagine punching a guy when the refs are all going to break it up. You're not going to make a point anyway at that point. So and then Coach Nagy. The only problem I had with what Coach Nagy said was I think at that time. I at least say you saw it because we all know you saw it.
Exactly. We talked about that live. Yeah.
We went on the air live. Like, what the? Come on, bro.
Yeah.
You're
At
just
least
lying again.
And then a good thing to me, like I think I'll be honest with you, and he probably would have took some flack there. But I thought that he missed an opportunity to kind of say, look, we all got each other's back here. Like, he would have been completely wrong. Outside of the building, he would have been wrong, but that offense needed something to bring them together. And if he asked me the way he handled it, it kind of like, I don't know if Javon Wims will ever gain his trust back again because, it's just like, man, my coach just sold me down. Like he knows what 22 is like all game. And the guy got in my head, but at least he saw it's not good for the team and we'll handle that thing behind closed doors or something like that. But it just seems like it was more, I'm going to tell everybody what they want to hear and totally deny seeing the situation. And to me, it just wasn't a good way to handle it.
Yeah, if you remember last year when the Bears played the Saints in Soldier Field, you remember when Tariq had his little run-in. So with the same guy, remember when they're putting their hand up over top of his head?
Said Allen Robinson tried to fight him after the game.
Yeah, they did. And as soon as Javon did that, Tariq Cohen sent out a tweet. He's like, telling all the fans to be quiet, complaining about Javon. He's like, no, he gets it. He knows. And I'm like,
sometimes it's wrong, even though that seems wrong and stupid to say.
Yeah.
Sometimes like that offense needs something.
Yeah, something. Yeah, I get that.
Some
yeah.
semblance of toughness.
And like you guys know, just like I got your back, even when you're wrong. Like family. I don't know. I don't know what just happened there. Why did you get me in that fight? But I'm gonna be in that fight with you. You know what I mean? Like we all have that cousin, right? Where you're like, there that idiot goes again. But you're gonna get his back, right?
I just bailed mine out 3 months ago.
You're gonna be mad at him later, right? You're gonna be mad at him later.
Exactly.
Behind closed doors, you'd be like, hey, stupid, don't do that again. But out in front of everybody, I thought they all kind of missed an opportunity to be like, 22's a moron. He deserved that. Even though you might have been wrong, even though that's the wrong thing to say, at some point, hopefully something can bring you guys together.
Let me just say real quick, the thing I had a big issue with, Olin, is you're a stand-up dude. You're right in the motherfucker's face right there. This dude comes off the sideline, sucker punches him, and then grabs his thing, and it's like, what the? Well, if you want set up, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to break down the fight because there's a receiver in TV, but the jab and jump back kind of had me baffled, right?
Come on, bro. That's what I'm talking about.
The jab, and then he
keep it 100.
I mean, if you're gonna stand in there, just stand in there and let it go already.
Exactly.
Come hell, you might win, you might lose, but just let your hands go.
Well, Gardner's reaction was just he didn't even fuck it. He's like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" That was the best part.
It looked so dumb, and then the penalty.
At least throw
right, yeah.
An uppercut and a left hook to the liver would work, but whatever.
Straight to the face mask.
It just seems like at that age in your football career, you should have a little better plan. I mean, I punch guys in the face mask. I told guys, I said, if you've been a fight on a football field, and got them really mad, you're not thinking about the face mask. You just
Exactly.
go. But I don't know. It seemed
That's
like
a
that was kind of
PFF
planned
thing.
out. Yeah, I think it was kind of planned out. I don't know, but I wasn't shocked. It was a receiver and a DB, and my grandfather used to say, "Let those two guys fight. They can't hurt each other anyway." So that would be my
pillow fight
theory on those two guys. Like, let them fight. You know what they're actually doing? They want you to break it up because
right.
So they're looking for someone to break it up. So I just let them go and laugh. I'm kind of D lineman. Let them go. Don't jump in. You know, no one's gonna get hurt here today.
So, Olin, if we jump back to when James tore his pec and they bring in Alex Bars at left guard to cover for him.
Please.
Struggled on the first couple of snaps, but I didn't have any issue with the way that he played the rest of the game. I knew it was going to be a little bit of a struggle, but then they pull the okey doke and then he's gone from left guard. They put Coward over there and I don't know if he's got Phil's been on it too with him. Phil thinks he's more of a tackle anyway, and that's where he should be.
Coward, right tackle. He doesn't have to think, Olin.
Right.
He's got one. That's your guy. That's who I'm going to block. He's a fucking bully. He's a bouncer.
To what I was saying though,
the politics.
And initially, Bars was the backup at left guard and was good enough to be the backup to left guard. You gave him a couple of quarters, and then he's gone from there. And and Coward is in. You're talking about your relationship with Mustapher. Do you have one with Bars?
Yes,
also,
I do.
As well.
I have a relationship with Bars also. Look, it was interesting because remember when Spriggs went down for a little bit?
Yeah.
I thought that was the best line on the field when Coward went to right tackle and Bars came in left guard. I thought they should have stuck with that. Look, I told Alex this, so I'm not saying anything I haven't told him. I said when you came in, those first 3 or 4 or 5 plays, you gave Coward a chance. Like, you got to come in and you got to execute immediately. You have to have fun. You've been fundamentally correct. We talked about this with everybody else. You got to look like you're doing some kind of offensive line technique. And Alex was a little all over the place his first start. I'm with you. His first chance getting played. I'm with you. I would have stuck with Alex. I thought he would have vastly improved the next game. I try to stay away from critiquing those guys too much. Any of those Notre Dame guys, I know them extremely well from when they were young. I still see them in the offseason. We train together a lot. So I try to say critique him too much. But I did tell Alex that, and I told him, like, you gave Coward a chance. But that being said, if I just watch the film, as he gave Coward a chance, you imagine Coward is giving Alex his chance back by now.
Absolutely. They couldn't even pick up a simple kindergarten fucking stunt on that pass. I mean, it's sad. I'm talking about Coward and Leno.
Yeah, it looked like there was two twos, and they thought it was a TT, but it wasn't, and the set was bad. And he just and in his defense, he lost footwork that he probably doesn't have in muscle memory, right? Because here's a guy again we talked about. He's a D lineman, played right tackle, right guard. So now he's got a power step, and I don't want to get too into this because you kind of bore listeners, but he's got a power step and a kick step back out. Well, he's probably never. I don't know. He's probably done that maybe 15 times in his life, and now it's live with Davenport and I think it was I don't know who was the D tackle, but that even though is simple, if you haven't done it a lot, well then you don't have it in your memory bank, and when it's full speed, you're gonna swing the gate and you'll be sideways, and then the rest is history, and it's a sack.
I've never seen so much fundamental problems. I'm talking about. And the last time me and you talked about Nagy's philosophy in the run game where they're turning shoulders. And listen, let's just keep it 100 here. Harry Hiestand became the fucking scapegoat for Nagy. Then you bring in your boy, Juan Castillo. You champion him out in the public, and the same issues are happening. Then you switch fucking Mitch Trubisky. He won the comp. Now he's out. Now I'm going to go with the veteran. And he's doing the same shit Mitch did that you took Mitch out. At what point is it Matt Nagy? And at what point do you give Bill Lazor the play calling duties if you were the GM?
Yeah, I think we're at the point that it's Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy right now. The offense, if you look at the offense's problems, that's who it is. It's those two guys. They fire Heffrick, they fire Hiestand, they fire Wisenhunt. Obviously, it was kind of sold through their press conference that it was because of the run game and things just were not working. And my continuous argument to that is even when they're running the ball well, they don't score points. So you can go through the history of Coach Nagy being here, and most times when they run the ball for 150-plus yards, they score less than 20 points. So their problem is scoring points, putting points on the board. They don't have explosive players. They couldn't find a way to use Tariq Cohen even when he was healthy. Losing him really hurt them. Just another explosive player to put out there with Allen Robinson and now Mooney coming around. But, it's just like we talked about earlier. Look, you can't talk about the running game. You can't talk about being physical and then make the signings you made and then dress the guys that you dress on Sunday and look me in the face and tell me you want to be a physical run team.
I totally agree. It's sad. And really, this is a problem that I want you to address. David Montgomery, to me, is like a miracle worker. I said it. You saw me breaking down the tape. I'm thinking my days back at Hofstra, coming back from Connecticut and hustling to get the Long Island Railroad through the subway, and I got a fucking bag, and I'm going this way, everyone's in the way, and I'm fucking just making it there. That's what his life is like. And then you got PFF, National in there. This kid sucks. Let's get anybody in there. And nobody except you, this network, is breaking this shit down truthfully of how good this kid is without this line. Imagine with some fucking Big Cat, Olin, Ruben Brown, Todd Berger. Remember Todd Perry, fucking Kentucky boy? Those motherfuckers. Todd Perry shook my hand. It felt like 7 bricks were around him. I'm like, you are the animal. Oh my God. He was one of the most. I remember him taking John Randall and just making him like nothing. And John Randall's a Hall of Famer, and Todd Perry would just eliminate that dude. That's how good he was. But, injuries and stuff like that. But David Montgomery, Olin, who better to talk about? Give the real fan. That's what we got here on the Tape Never Lies Network. We go by the tape. We fucking hate PFF. We hate all these nerd blog boys that talk their shit. At the end of the day, it's about talent, aggressiveness, fundamentals, blocking and tackling. Who better than you to talk about it?
Yeah, Montgomery, he's impressive, man. He fights hard when he gets the ball. He's not going to go down from the first tackler. There's been times, obviously, that you can find a guy missing a hole on every film you watch. You watch the best running backs in the league. They're about to see the Titans this week who have, that guy's an animal. So he misses holes. But, Montgomery is to me, like, he's like the rest of the offense, where even though he's very good, like when he broke away last week, we got to put that ball in the end zone, man. We need someone to put that ball in the zone. We got to get, but he's not that kind of runner. I fully understand that. But it just to me, that's just when I look at that offense, he's just another guy. When I say, man, like another guy we drafted and signed. Like, would I like David Montgomery on my team? Yes, I think he's tough. I think he fights for yards. I think he'd be a great number 2 back. Now, to be honest with you guys, like you're saying, you would have to see him with a better offensive line to make that final decision on him, obviously. But I just think with what this offense is missing, I think it's too bad that they went, even though Montgomery's a good back, they went and got a back who doesn't have breakaway speed. Right. So they need
especially
a guy
for Nagy's system.
For Nagy's system, yes, they got themselves a power he
traded one out of town. He traded one out of town.
He traded one to get another one. Like, me and Alex Brown and Lance Briggs, and they tease me because, I'll scream when Montgomery gets 4 or 5 yards. I'm like, do it again. And Alex is behind me like, he's coming off the field.
Yeah.
And sure
Why?
enough,
They started the game with a run the other day, and then he pulled them out on second down and ran it with Cordero.
They did it in overtime, too. They did and then they ran that same play action and ran for 50 yards, but no one was buying it because it was Cordero Patterson on the field.
Exactly.
And it's just so, like we're saying here, like, I'm sure Montgomery would be a good back in a system that wants to, time of possession, We're going to pound the clock. Maybe like a Rams, right, where the Rams run all those.
Oh my God!
People out of the backfield and those kind of things. But for me, in this offense, David, like that to me, that's the problem with this offense. You went and got a guy, you finally break away, and he gets tackled, and we get a field goal. So to me, that's if you had any problem with Montgomery, that'd be it. But your problem would not be effort. Your problem would not be how hard he runs the ball. Your problem would not. I think he leads the NFL in broken tackles, which is very important. Very important with that offensive line. So you're gonna have to break a few tackles right now. And this week, I don't even know if the linemen know what each other's names are and who they're lining up and all of those. So they have to bring guys in. So it could be another rough week for them. And of course, you put a line that struggles blocking out there, and then you put Jimmy Graham next to them. And now I'm just baffled at what the hell we're trying to do.
Oh my God, Cordarrelle Patterson coming in when you've gotten 5 yards or 7 yards or 11 yards. Talk real quick. Sorry, Shayne, if I cut your question off, but I think it's important that the common fan, the person that's thinking, oh well, Matt Nagy's record is this, so why are you guys yelling at this guy? Talk about how important rhythm is for an offense in regards to Matt Nagy not understanding personnel and how to get them there.
It's extremely important when you don't have, and I'll go back to it again, when you don't have explosive players. You have to have a rhythm on your offense because you're just not going to have a guy who's going to break one for you. You don't have a Tyreek Hill. You don't have a Kelsey. You don't have Mahomes. I've gone through this over and over again. I've said this many times. Bosa, Fisher in a Super Bowl, he still hasn't blocked Bosa. Okay, so you need those kind. You need that quarterback, right? If you're going to run this system, as good as that they say that Kansas City offensive line did and was, they got mauled in the Super Bowl and still won the Super Bowl. Why? They have those kind of players around them, and that's the system we're running here. And we don't have those kind of guys. Even Allen Robinson, if he catches it. He's not going to catch an 8-yard slant and go to the house. Someone's going to run him down. They got one kid. If I had to argue anything, it'd be Mooney. I think Mooney has a chance to hopefully be that guy. He's not overly big. And again, there's another thing where you put your best weapons on the field, Robinson, Miller, Mooney. Well, now you have no run blockers. So you got to put Javon Wims out there when you want to run the ball. And now the whole world knows you're running the ball. You put Javon Wims and J.P. Holtz on the field, and you're at about 93% run, right? So rhythm for this offense, they can't get behind the chains. Why wouldn't you stay with Montgomery? Get yourself in 30 short, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, make it manageable. Let them just shove it up in there. And I know sometimes they lose yards, but look, with this offense, if you lose yards with Montgomery, punt the damn ball away with your defense. Punt away and live to fight another day.
Oh, my God. I love this dude. Go ahead, Shayne.
Yeah, you essentially took my question there. What you're talking about,
I don't want to Dion whatever. Her
no, but Olin, you're talking about what you guys were just talking about. That was something that I've noticed even back when you guys played. We had Thomas Jones on with the place that where Phil and I came for the other network, and we were talking to him. I can remember, like, even in the Super Bowl, even in leading up to the Super Bowl year. It seemed like that third series, the starting running back came out and the backup running back came in, and Thomas was like, he bounced that big run in the Super Bowl, and he's like, I ran to the fucking sideline. I'm like, you got to leave me in. I'm gonna go for fucking 200. I'm ready. And Lovey's like, no, man, no. Said, get in. This is your series, and a lot of football is you got to go on fucking feel, and that's what we're seeing here with Matt Nagy with Patterson. I mean, how is Cordarrelle Patterson our number 2 running back right now? I mean, I really have. They drafted Kareth White, and they obviously liked Ryan Nall more than they liked Kareth White. Kareth White's had a couple nice runs in Pittsburgh and stuff like that, but it drives me.
They got
Lamar
crazy. Miller on the practice squad. They got the kid Pierce on the practice squad.
And they're protecting Tyler Bray. Don't forget that.
Yeah, exactly.
He's been with me for 8 years.
Yeah, that's what Nagy said today. They said, what does he bring? He's like, well, he's been with me for 8 years. He knows this offense.
I think I know.
Hopefully he can teach you about the fucking offense, Nagy.
Exactly. Jesus Christ. my God.
Who is always the question, right? But look, even with that example, when you think about it, like if you go back to that team, if you take Thomas Jones out, Eddie Cedric Benson's coming in. Adrian Peterson's coming in after Cedric Benson. Like those are three pretty damn good running backs for a power running team, right? And do I agree with taking T. Jones out in that Super Bowl? No, but Cedric was very important to our Super Bowl run. He was a power back.
Yeah.
He ran downhill. He wore defenses out. If you go back and look at the number of carries Ced had, he didn't have a lot of yards, but he was the guy pounding it up in there. And then making guys come downhill, and Thomas was bouncing outside. So what I'm saying is a perfect complement to each other, right?
Right.
Cordell Patterson doesn't complement David Montgomery at all. Ryan Nall doesn't compliment either of them. So, and my problem with a guy like Cordell Patterson, and I think it was the Rams game, might have been, or was it last week against the Saints? They threw him a quick pass, and he made some miss. He went down and he stepped out of bounds. Cordell, we need those 3 yards on this offense.
Yeah,
like we need
every.
We need every yard. We cannot. So just like the offensive line needs to play with a little bit more of an edge, the skill position too, like they have to demand it out of each other to get better. That we're going to play with an edge. We're going to fight for every yard. We're not going to dip out of bounds when it looks like there's 2 or 3 yards there, because with this offense, 2 or 3 yards means a lot.
Totally agree.
Phil, one thing that I want to ask Olin before I forget is, this is another thing we talked to Steve about. Before the season started, I was listening to an interview with Matt Nagy, and they were asking about some things, different approaches that he was going to take, from 2019 to 2020. And I couldn't believe what I was fucking hearing. But Matt Nagy goes, yeah, I had some guys come to me in the exit meetings.
Yes, please
talk. And he goes, I had a couple of players come up to me and say, hey, coach, we've been talking to some of the guys, and something that we'd really like to see you do more is to hold us accountable in meetings after games in front of everybody.
They were talking about putting the tape up
and holding guys accountable, like holding players accountable, with the whole fucking team. And I'm like,
done that before.
So I picked up the phone. I'm like,
he calls me.
I'm like, Phil, this motherfucker, they're not fucking doing this?
I go, no way.
There's no way. And I'm like, I'm going to send you the audio. So I sent the audio, and then Matt Nagy goes, we're even going to include the coaches in it. And I'm like, oh my God, this is where we're at. They're not doing this every game.
Well, it's not shocking, right? When you you fire the guys you fired on the offensive staff, right? So eventually players recognize what's going on, and with, I think I heard Lombardi say this week, with coaching, you're either coaching it or you're allowing it. It's one of the two, right?
Yeah, so that's a great line.
Look at if you think about, like, I'm gonna fire Harry Heaston, I'm gonna fire Heffert, I'm gonna fire Wisenhunt, but I'm gonna keep Dave Ragone. So this stuff just doesn't make sense, right? Okay, now the quarterback hasn't developed. The guy who was here with him the whole time is not a pass game coordinator. So, eventually people start to wonder if you're not going to hold. And I don't mind you firing those 3 guys. That's just coaching. That's the way coaching goes. But then you have to, if you're going to hold people accountable, you can't leave any cracks as a head coach, because then you lose. You lose some respect. And once you lose some respect in that room, it's hard to get it back. And people start questioning things you're doing. And you can see the last 2 weeks, right? Brian Griese comes out with his comment. And look, I thought Brian Griese was a moron for saying that. He knows you don't say that stuff on air, but it still came out. And now that's going on. Then all of a sudden this week we're hearing about, I think Coach Nagy said something about, like, look, it's all it is looking at wristbands, right? And then Foles comes on and he's like, well, I don't know. They keep, when people keep saying they have a good relationship and a good communication, that means they don't. Guys who really have a good relationship, you don't gotta say anything, right? Like, if somebody's my friend, I don't gotta say it 100 times. If you gotta keep saying it, then there's a problem, and there's some cracks. Just the penalties. There's just too many things in a row. Greasy, the wristband, Wims punching somebody, the penalties. Now look, it looks like you're lacking leadership and discipline. And eventually, that, like Coach Nagy said after the game, it's a reflection on him, and that starts with him.
Well, the team is a reflection of the head coach. I've spoken that on my tape breakdowns on this network. All the fans are starting to quote it and hashtag of it. This, at some point, I personally don't see this guy's ego letting go of the play calling. Do you think it's going to get to the point where he will or has to? Is this the final act for Matt Nagy here?
I hope he does it, and I was hoping he was going to do it last year. And the way I kind of said it last year was I was hoping he was going to change the scheme to benefit the team that he coaches, because Coach Nagy, as much as the offense drives all of us crazy, which is gosh, I played on Bears offense that drove us crazy for years, but the coaching staffs, I mean, you go back and look at the coaching staff, it's just insanity what we're doing on offense, almost the same thing that's going on here now. But I think that when you turn the film on and when you listen to these guys talk, they do play for him, right? We have 2 comeback wins this year from way back. This team has shown character and grit at some points during the game. Now, obviously, I know you can go through the game and pick and choose and say this team had a bunch of injuries, and that's why, but they still did it, right? And, besides the Colts, not really blown out, won a tough game against Tampa. Obviously, the defense has played well, but he's the head coach of the whole team. So it looks like these guys do play for him. They do buy into his club dub. They do like the culture he creates. The only thing I start to worry about is I'm starting to see cracks because of what's going on the offense. And like you said, you'd imagine I wouldn't be shocked, to be honest, guys, if he has given a play calling and we don't know about it at points during the game. My only problem with that is if a guy's going to call the plays, you gotta give him the ingredients during the week for him to design the game plan so he can call and design the game he wants to call. So he has to give that up during the week. But we knew in off season, right, when he hired these guys and you looked at their backgrounds, that he was staying with the scheme. We knew that from the beginning. And you're talking about giving the play calling to 2 guys who one was out of the league at Penn State, and DeFilippo's been fired at the last 2 spots he's been to. So I don't know, maybe Fury or Ragone, like we just talked about, but I don't know about Laser and I don't know about DeFilippo, because both guys haven't had a ton of success when they have been calling plays.
It's a great point. I don't know how much longer we got you. I don't want to hold you up, but you
I got
are
about 2 more
killing
minutes
it.
here.
2 more minutes?
Yeah.
So we got all these people in the chat, but Shayne, do you have one last question for him?
Well, mine's just kind of a overall question.
I got a favor for you.
Yeah, I don't think either one of these guys are going anywhere. I just don't know if the Chicago Bears are willing to make the move. I mean, if you're going to make one move with the head coach or with the GM, if you're going to do one of them, I think everybody's got to go. But Olin, looking at it the way that you see it, who do you think is the bigger issue? Do you think it's the GM, or do you think it's the head coach and the way that he's handling the offense?
I really can't separate the two, and because, but I will say this: if they get fired because of the offense, Ryan Pace has missed on all his offensive games mostly.
Yep.
Cody and James look like players. We need one of them to elevate themselves to a Pro Bowl or an All-Pro level to be a difference maker on an offensive line. But you trade up for the number 2 pick in the draft. Mr. Trubisky doesn't look like he's not the guy, obviously. Kevin White was a miss. Then you trade for Khalil Mack. You give away 2 1s and a 2 and a 3, and everybody wonders where your offensive line is. And I think we all figured out where they are. So, but Coach Nagy comes in and he hasn't done well on offense, but he does have a winning record. So he'd be hard to get rid of. Even now, with all the complaining we're doing, they're 5-3. Right? They're 5-3. They find a way to steal one this week. They look in a really, really good position, although it's going to be a rough game against the Titans.
Oh, it's going to be a rough one. Real quick, before we let you go, I have a favor, but I also had a question, because I sit here, and we had my dad on BHL the last 2 weeks, and he loves you, and that's
old line coach, right?
Yes, the old line coach was keeping it a buck on the show, calling out the line coach. I'll send you some video of that. He's like, he should be fired right when he came on. You can't. You're patty caking out there. They're patty caking. That's 72. He's awful. You need a center that's gonna. Anyway, but is there coaching in your future? Because I sit here and I can scout. I know a coach, and just listening to you tonight, I think not only are the fans in the chat fired up because of what an amazing guest you are, and that's, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. You brought it and you kept it real, but I see you and I'm like, I would play for this fucking guy. Can we see you doing that on the NFL level? I know your son is up at Illinois. The other one's getting recruited too. Is he in school too?
My two boys, my boy will be at Illinois next year, the one who
Yep.
signed and play there. And then my other son's a junior. So they're both still at Loyola. I have 4 young girls behind them. I coach Little League football, love it, love football, football fanatic, if that's not obvious. Love the game, study it probably too much, more than I should for what radio and TV pays me. But I'd like to maybe later on in, given years, I'm glad for this radio and TV gig. It keeps me kind of in the game.
Yeah.
I have a gym where I have a lot of kids, and some NFL guys roll through, and we go through techniques and things like that. But definitely at one point, would love to throw my hat in the ring to coaching and just see what comes of it. But for right now, just waiting for the family to get a little bit older and move on a little more, because coaches, they spend a lot of time, man. Like guys know. It's all hours of the day. I'm hoping that this Zoom kind of breaks through for these guys, and they don't have to be there all night, right? Because to be honest with you, sometimes you're in those meetings, and I'm like, guys, like, we went over this. Like, this isn't rocket science. Like, I thought we did all of this already. I think
Keep it simple, stupid.
I think you guys are trying to justify your paychecks by staying here at 11 o'clock at night. But anyway, a short answer is yes, I'd love to one day.
Well, if I ever get a head coaching job, you're my first call. Because I would say, you're going to be my offensive coordinator. I'm not even going to put you on the offensive line. I'm going to put you as the OC, because I see what you see, and you keep it a buck. And that
you'll be like Olin. We got to throw the ball at least once.
You got to know me. I think the penicillin is running the fucking football down people's throat, action off of it, the boot game. This offense could be cleaned up with somebody, I'm sorry, that really had just a belief in the run game. Because let's keep it simple, stupid. Just like he said, if you could run block, everything else will come from that. This guy's teachings are way awful. Anyway, that wouldn't happen with you. That's all I know. But let me ask you one favor. I know we kept you a little over the 2-minute mark. Can you give us a station ID? And I'd love to bring you back later on in this season, maybe at the end. You killed it tonight. What a great job. I can't thank you enough for coming on. I'll text you so you could send your wife your open, because she needs to see what a great man.
Hopefully it convinces her.
You got a lot of kids, man. I thought I had a lot of kids. Then I've met you. Claudio and I have 4 kids. Claudio
What's up, Olin?
What's up, guys?
How you doing,
He's
man?
the
Nice to
barber.
meet you.
Good, man.
Let me throw a quick question. I gotta do just a quick.
He's the
Listen,
biggest
hold on.
Rex Grossman.
Wait, hold on. I just want you to keep it. You've been keeping it 100 all night.
Okay.
Just keep it. Listen, don't get me wrong. Grossman was not perfect. I was a defender of him. I defended him in my barbershop for years.
Look at the jersey behind
Can you?
him.
Yeah. Can you see him? Where is he? There he is.
That's not a Cade McNown jersey.
Just keep it
Lennon jersey.
Just real quick, sum up him as a quarterback, as a person, as a leader, and everything. Just keep it 100. Go ahead.
Well, Rex wasn't really a leader, right? He wasn't really a leader, but when he was healthy, Rex was a pretty damn good quarterback, man. That ball came. It was amazing. It was like God touched his right arm, because he didn't look like much, and that ball would come. I mean, when he threw that thing, he could throw the rock. Rex obviously had limitations. I've watched all our film. Like I told you guys, I'm a fanatic. I watched all that stuff from back then. And when teams would stack up against the run and confuse him with coverages and blitzes, that's where he struggled, right? He couldn't find where to go with the ball. But close to the best quarterback I played with in that, especially that 2006 year in the beginning. Really, 2004, he was lighting up. I think before he blew his knee in Minnesota.
Yeah, that was the
Terry. I think it was Terry Shea's offense.
Yep.
Terry Shea was something else too.
Well, I mean, 06 was his first season because the other 2 seasons he got hurt. He only played like 3 games.
He got hurt, right? Yeah.
And,
And in 05 he came back, I think, against Atlanta after the halftime.
Yeah. The Rex chant in the stadium. Remember that?
Right, yeah. So
off action to Moose. First play back was off action to Masim Muhammad.
Place went crack.
Yep.
I think it was like
He fumbled that series at the goal line.
I mean, my main thing when I'm talking about him is after that, this is the last
keeping him on Rex, for God's sake.
Listen, hold on. Just after that Super Bowl season, the team did not give him any weapons in the offense. That was my whole thing. They got rid of
never
Thomas
gave
Jones.
anybody any weapons in the offense.
They gave Cutler some weapons. They gave Cutler some weapons.
They did give Jay some weapons, right?
Yes, they
All right,
did.
that's it. I had to get it in there. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Back to your hole, Claudio.
Go back.
Get out of here. Thank you, Olin, for putting up with
guys,
him.
man. No problem.
Can I get you one thing? Just, hey, this is Olin Kreutz. You're listening to my boys on the Tape Never Lies Network. Or you're keeping it 100.
What network am I saying again?
The Tape Never Lies Network. You're keeping it 100 on the Tape Never Lies Network with my guys, whatever.
This is Olin Kreutz with my guys on the Tape 100 Network. Tape. I'm sorry. Say it
Tape
again.
Never Lies Network.
The Tape Never Lies Network.
Keeping it 100. Okay.
Keeping it 100 is the show.
This is Olin Kreutz. The network is killing me.
Yeah.
This is Olin Kreutz with my boys on the Tape Never Lies Network, keeping it 100.
Perfect.
Boom. There he is.
We're not going to hire you for your acting chops, Olin.
Save that for Thomas Jones. Has Thomas called you up? Yo, they got a Marvel character. You'd be perfect. I could see you in that movie with Marvel.
He's having so much success, man. That guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's amazing, man.
Hey, thanks so much,
You're
Olin. We
amazing.
enjoyed that.
Have a great night.
Thank
you too, man.
Thank you so much. What a guest.
Yeah.
Look at Claudio,
awesome.
Proud of himself.
I am
Rex.
proud. Hey, listen. He said he was one of the best guys he played with. So
the best part was you saying, talk about Rex the leader. He goes, well, he wasn't much of a leader.
The leader went right out the doorway. That was great. I mean,
unreal. Great questions. So you guys brought it with the questions to him.
He's great because he's not going to mess around.
He said he's exactly what Shayne said. He fits in perfect here. His reputation alone, like Ray Perez is saying, he's a legend. That's
absolutely.
That's fucking NFL royalty there. What did he give us here?
About an hour.
A fucking hour of his time here. You got the best. I don't know. That was probably one of the best interviews I've been a part of.
People in the chat were loving it.
Listen, the Tape Never Lies Network, even though Olin was messing it up, he only fumbled the snap once like Rex against the Falcons. and really, I got to say this, it means a lot to me to be a part of this, but to be able to speak to somebody that knows the game and seeing the big pictures, like it just re-emphasizes the work that we've done here on the tape to showcase these problems truthfully to you fans out there. And that's really what we do. And that's what we'll continue to do. And that's the only reason why someone like that will come on a show and have laughs with guys that love this game, love this team, and really study it. So,
yeah, well, I think the biggest thing, Phil, and Olin's a no-nonsense guy. I think he's been on with us enough. He knows that we're putting in the work. We're watching the tape, and we understand
watching my tape breakdown today.
Absolutely, but I think he knows that we're not bullshit and we're not cookie cutter, and I think he does appreciate that. I said every time he's on, every time he comes back with us, it just gets better and better.
Oh my God, that was just, if you love the game of football, if you love what we're doing, right here, Chuck and Lydia Goring, he's 414 Patreon. Go over to the Patreon, get in there. We're almost at 420 for Claudio's special T-shirt. Shayne, where's that drop, Shayne?
Oh, we're kidding. We're slipping.
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day.
It was
right on cue. There he is.
Right
Look
on.
at him. Right on cue.
all the nerds attacking every. The nerds are coming. It's like a fucking what is it, zombie movie with these nerds. They're all coming out. They all have the answers. But tonight we had the Hall of Famer, and I think Cars, our next guest. He's Cars! Keys! Yes, you pressed the button on this guy. Cars, what's up, man? Your hiatus, the suspension has been lifted. You are the Javon Wims of the Tape Never Lies Network.
Oh, I can see Cars throwing down. I can see him throwing down.
I mean, without question, I think I would not punch a guy with a helmet on. But
yeah, that is pretty.
I saw him beat up a librarian from New York once. Paul Martin, his name was.
Came off the top rope on
Yeah.
that guy, that's for sure.
Listen, if you're new to the show, this is our guy, Cars. He actually embraces the role of being a nerd, and thank you. I hope that you were able to, Cars, listen to Olin Kreutz and catch some of that, because I honestly, what a great interview, what a great human being, great football mind. I think Chicago media is dropping the ball by just putting him on that show. He should be center stage out there, in my opinion, because there's not enough transparency and truthfulness when it comes to the real issues. And tonight, he pulled back the curtain, and he was throwing some he was the anti-Javon Wims with the sucker punches. He was throwing some fucking jabs right into the fucking chest, the skull, the Tyson uppercut with some power behind it. So I hope you caught it. Were you able to watch that, or you're gonna have to go back and watch
I have to
it?
go back. I was putting the kids to bed. You know the
Daddy,
routine. Always the job.
There's always a job. Well, you're gonna have to go back and watch what Olin said, because any kind of love affair that you continue to have with Matt is probably.
And look, I had a good run. I think my suspension is back on. Thanks, everybody.
Wait, do we have that video?
We do.
Yeah, we gotta
do.
see that video.
We have some breaking news.
Breaking news. The Tape Never Lies Network. Breaking news.
Hello, Keeping It 100 crew. I understand there are some concerns that Phil and Shayne may have suspended me for pro-Matt Nagy sentiments, and I would like to set the record straight. So I have a written statement by Shayne and Phil, by myself, about this supposed suspension. I in no way, shape, or form was suspended for defending Matt Nagy at any point in time. They did not suspend me. I have had an error in judgment and will no longer support Matt Nagy, as you can see. Thank you for your concerns, but I have just had an epiphany and come to see the errors in my way, and this is not in any way, shape, or form modified by Phil or Shayne or Claudio or all three of them yelling at me for hours every week. Thank you.
Help me. You can hear the kids running around in the background. You brought it there, and yes, that was a Patreon exclusive for the week that Shayne shared. We brought it out on Keeping It 100.
Cars has a lot of fans on Patreon. That was a very popular video.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know why. If I read the chat, it's the exact opposite way normally. I normally see a lot of wishes of death and bodily harm. So it was nice to get a little positivity in there.
Well, you're a great sport, And that's what this network needs. There's been a lot of past history with me and Shayne where the pussification of America shows its head and people get so offended. But someone who embraces the nerd and embraces the truth and brings their own opinion. Your opinion is valued here. We don't have to agree with it. That's what makes this so special. It's like there's no script. There's no questions that were written for Olin. We're just talking off the top of our heads and really having a great conversation. So, yeah, me and you do not agree. Obviously, we didn't want to bring Olin on, and he would probably punch you like he did Fred Miller.
Big Cat was scared of him. Like there's legit concern, right? Big Cat was 6'7", 350.
He brought up Big Cat because we were talking about Charles Leno wearing the sleeves, and Olin had a. He's like, fuck yeah, I would address that. He goes, when I came to Chicago, he's like, I put sleeves on, and Big Cat's like, yeah, son, we don't wear sleeves here.
We don't.
And he goes, that was all it took. That was all it took.
Listen, that was an interview that you have to rewatch.
Yeah.
If you didn't catch the beginning of the show opened, led right into Olin, and Olin just fucking, it's like better than the fireworks on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
If you're a Chicago Bears fan, that's an hour of
Acevedo's gonna pull that interview, and we're gonna post that exclusively on Patreon, just the interview for everybody, because it was amazing. It really was.
It really was. And if you're a fan of the Chicago Bears and you're a fan of The Tape Never Lies, Olin addressed all the issues that I've been showing you week after week, and then gave you a little bit behind the scenes. So we got some breaking news tonight. I don't know if you caught it. Do we have to play it again? Yeah, fuck it. We're going to play the drop again. We love this breaking news drop. Right, Claudia?
Breaking news. The Tape Never Lies Network. Breaking news.
Yes, it's breaking news here at the Tape Never Lies Network. I don't know if you caught it, but I did. And I hope he doesn't get offended. But our guest kind of gave us a freaking nice fastball down the middle and said we might be seeing Alex Bars at center this weekend against the Tennessee Titans. So there's a nugget, because we were asking that question prior to having Olin on. Like, what are they going to do at center? I really thought for going and being thrown into the fray, I thought Mustafa had some lapses, obviously, but Olin said exactly what I saw. At least there's an understanding of what's going on, and he's getting after it. So Alex Bars at center. I wonder how they're going to run at Coward at tackle. So I'm wondering who's going to be that left guard.
It's Hambright.
Is Hambright going to get in there?
It's going to be Hambright.
You know what? This is the funniest shit ever, because I remember coaching, and I had a kid that I never thought could, we got injuries, so we had to put him in. And then some reason this kid just responded to the game, and really ultimately I can pray that this is going to work. Like, that maybe you find a little golden nugget there, and that Rashad Coward should be the tackle. Me and Steve Edwards, who this dude is a great dude. I thought he was a great, obviously his mic stuff held back the quality, because he fit right in just the same, Shayne, as Olin, just bringing it. He's somebody that will want to come back on and chop it up with us. I've been talking to him, and he felt like me. Rashad is thinking way too much. Olin broke it down. Right tackle, right guard, left guard.
At this point, but
so dumb.
What other team do you see shuffle their offense? I mean, I understand right now you have to with the injuries, but I mean, you have they did it back with. I mean, Kyle Long, his best 3 years were his first 3 years in Chicago. He was dominant, And they were bouncing him around all the time. You see it with Cody Whitehair, bouncing him around. James Daniels bouncing him around. I mean, Rashad Coward is a tackle, and now he's a right guard, and now he's a left guard. Bars is good enough to be your backup left guard, and you give him a few quarters, and now you're moving him out to right tackle, and then now you're putting him at center. Yeah,
he's left guard. They go get
Whitehair.
Remember that guy's name? They move him to center. Then they draft Daniels to move him to left guard, and then
What was
push
the
him.
kid from the Rams? They picked him up. He was on the fucking Hard Knocks. Remember this dude?
The tank top
Kush.
guy. Yeah,
Kush. Fucking Claudio 420 drop right there. On the
Kush.
I'm not on my game, man. But here we go.
Smoke weed every day.
Every reference
I
to
love that
the
line.
funky
Sounds
marijuana,
great.
which is legal in the state of Illinois now. So Cars is a very lucky nerd. Where in
Very
Connecticut-
happy every evening, nerd. That's for sure.
It's like your glass of wine. It's a puff of wine, right?
It's 6 edibles. Whatever works.
6.
Tomato.
Good Lord.
6 edibles.
Holy shit.
Oh wow. Anyway, we've seen it. It's so tiresome. I really think if you really listen to what Olin's giving you, and this will be the last time, great interview, but he's giving you some nuggets if you just pay attention of how absolutely lost Matt Nagy is as a head coach and what he's doing with his staffs and where he's pointing fingers and blame instead of putting it right here on his own shoulders. And really, it goes back to Shayne when my dad was on. This is a guy learning to be a head coach on the job with the Chicago Bears. And to me, that is a Ryan Pace issue because he's the one who hired this fucking guy when he wasn't ready, wasn't prepared. He was trying to catch the copycat league of finding the young offensive guru. Put up some of those fucking numbers, Shayne. Do you have those numbers, or can we upload those offensive statistics? I mean, to me, I'm not a stat scout. I don't do that. But what I see on the film is shepherd's pie of offense. It's fucking everything thrown.
Yeah,
together.
I can read them right here,
All
Phil,
right, go
just
ahead.
as quick. The 4.79 yards per play is 30th in the NFL. 3.81 yards per carry, 29th. 5.64 yards per pass, 29th. 3.13% interception rate, 26th. 6.27 sacks per pass, 17th. That's our highest one.
You're such a nerd.
Yeah.
Look at you with all these-
34.9% on third down is 31st. 20.1 points per game is 28th in the NFL. And the good thing about it is, Phil, I forget who originally brought up the question in the chat a couple of weeks ago asking who or what player has improved under Nagy during his tenure here. We kind of settled on James Daniels. And Olin went the same direction, and after that, he did bring up Allen Robinson, but we didn't put him in there because Allen Robinson was very, very good in Jacksonville. I mean, he put up a 1,400-yard season, 14 touchdowns in one season there. But I don't know, Cars, could you add to that list off the top of your head somebody that's really improved on the offensive side of the ball under Matt Nagy?
I think Cohen. Look, I mean, it's slim pickings because we've drafted so poorly in those positions. I'll say Cohen has definitely become more well-rounded, especially as a receiver. But no, it's like Anthony Miller is still the same guy he was. Wims and Ridley. I mean, well, who knows about Ridley?
I don't even know.
Yeah, I mean, I think you nailed it early, Phil. The bigger problem has always been Ryan Pace. It doesn't absolve Matt Nagy, but like, it's bad. It's been bad,
and you really gotta hope that something. I don't give a like Ted Phillip. We've done this whole fucking story until, and we'll say it quick, and then we're gonna get into the bear up, bear down. If you're new to that, Bear up is a positive player of the game, and bear down is the negative. It's the opposite way. And we're going to get into that.
Might just want to do bear down this week.
No, there's a couple bear ups. But real quick, I just think, this is talked about countless times on this network and the previous network, but by me and Shayne always saying, until you get a president that's a football motherfucker, that's the only thing. Because this family's all living off the money of the fucking team. Their hands are out, like whatever. I don't care. Think about that. It's like
they're there to get paid.
Nephew,
They're not
your cousin that's a fucking crackhead.
Football's not a
there
priority.
to help you. Yeah, football's not. Just give me the money. Just give me the money. Just give me the money. And Ted Phillips is sitting there. He's getting paid, so he's like, that's fine. Let's hire Ernie. Let's hire Ernie Accorsi, a fucking former blog boy himself, to figure this out. What? No, that's why Bill Parcells in here.
You have to get the ownership. Like, sadly for most of us, it's gonna take Virginia dying, right? Whenever that happens, because all the kids are gonna want out at that point.
They have to get out. They have to get the fuck. Because Ted Phillips and this, you got to get a president that is a football guy, owner. You're gonna get. This is the NFL. It's like a fucking casino. There's a reason why there's gold ceilings. They don't fucking lose.
Well, that's the best. That's the best part. They're talking about the COVID situation and it affecting the salary cap. Like, these guys just all of a sudden ran out of fucking money. You know what I mean? Well, we didn't make it this year, so we're gonna have to fucking back everything up.
The fucking Madden game paid for everybody themselves.
Exactly.
It's like, come on, the fucking Sunday ticket. They're charging extra money to fucking stream more streams of the. They have every fucking way around to make money. That's why it's ridiculous. Even in COVID, I wanted to talk about this tonight. We'll talk about it later. Claudia, don't let us forget. I'm sending you this note. But the COVID situation, they might have to fucking just start adding more bodies to the practice squad to cover yourself here, because it is getting scary. And I honestly don't want to see this season canceled, but I just don't know how a guy like Spriggs is playing in the game and he has COVID, right? And he's blocking the fuck and he's whiffing or whatever, but he's blocking those guys. So doesn't the Saints, don't you have the protocol?
His is different because he was high risk because he was in the vicinity, correct? Isn't that what Spriggs?
I thought he was tested positive.
And that's why Leno can't get it, because he's never in the vicinity.
Right.
So that's how that works.
That's why COVID doesn't go on the ground. He's always rolling on the ground.
COVID lifts up today.
Somebody, that was very well played by all of you. Somebody on Facebook was like, Phil, God has something to get this guy can't get injured. He can't get COVID.
Everybody else on the line is something happening to.
We're never going to see a game without this guy. I just can't. Anyway, bear up, bear down. Let's get into it. Every week, some of your favorite. You guys in the chat room, join in the game. We always start on the negative side, and we snake this week. We'll start with Claudio. You'll start us off, and then we'll go back.
Philatosion, Shayne Marshall, the Tape Never Lies Network.
A bear up, a bear down. It's Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around. A bear up, a bear down. It's Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around. A bear up, a bear down. It's Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around. A bear up, a bear down. It's Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around. A bear up. This week, Draft Dr. Phil and Shayne Marshall, the smartest man. Bear ups and bear downs of the week.
Yes, bear up, bear down. A lot of people love that song. It's Shayne Marshall's favorite Draft Dr. Phil song.
It's one of them. Yep.
There's one of them.
Play it all the time.
I'm glad you play it. You rock that.
That's what he does every morning. He's working out. You know, he's just kind of doing the curls.
That's because he's in the song. He loves it.
Yeah.
Claudio,
All right.
bear down, kick us off.
I mean, I see it in the chat room here, Alex. Listen, Jimmy Graham. Jimmy.
Shayne.
I'm gonna get you with one of those. You watch. One of these times. So Jimmy Graham. I mean, the dude he drops balls in the worst fucking times. I mean, overtime. You know that was a huge drop, and he's just not bringing it. You know, he makes some big plays once in a while, but he's just not consistent enough, and you know that's it. So
you're saying you're saying that I was right back in March?
Yeah, don't tell nobody.
Don't tell nobody.
Yeah, I think.
I know Phil was stroking himself about being right, listen, so I think I'm going to do it now.
I mean, he makes great. I mean, dude, that one-handed catch, he does still make some great plays. So
he is not being used correctly. Olin hit it out of the park. Like, you're a dumb fucking coach if you can't understand that he's.
They finally hit the seam route and they get a fucking big pass interference call out of it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what he is. He's your wide tight end. You're not. Are you asking Ertz or this dude? Why is he escaping my name? Kelsey. Thank you. Yeah. To fucking inline block. That's not his go-to. He's not coming back and kicking out. You know, Kittle could do that shit. He's one of the best I've ever seen. Kittle at blocking. Holy fuck. But anyway,
he's
that's
out for what, 8 weeks?
Yeah,
or
he hurt his foot. Yeah.
You see what he said though? You gotta love it.
He said I'll be back in 2.
Yeah, he said out 8 weeks, and he said he'll be back in 2.
The fucking pace right there. I mean, you remember me you gotta draft Kittle in the second round. We got Shayne. Shayne got a contract extension.
All it took was 5 catches. Holy shit.
5 catches. Let's fucking give him an extension. Anyway, yeah, Jimmy Graham that was an awful game, but he did take ownership of that. So
yeah, he did. Yeah,
hopefully.
He did. Unlike
and really quick, I don't know if you got to see Cars. The tape never lies today. Came out. Obviously, on the patronage side, 43 minutes breaking down offense, defense, as Shayne put it, the whole enchilada. And then the shorter version on our YouTube channel, more condensed just to focus on offense. And I'm just saying, I'm saying this, Sean Payton is a guy that sends messages, and the way the New Orleans Saints were attacking Jimmy Graham to get him out of his game was to drive right at his knees, and every
they went low so many times on him.
Wait till you haven't seen it, because I documented on there. I know some of the people in the chat have seen the fucking, and the refs aren't doing shit about it, and it was getting to the point. It was 6-7 times. It's getting disgusting. And this dude could have been hurt.
Yeah. 100%.
That's why he dropped that last ball. They tackled him in the legs at the last. He bends so awkwardly. Like, fuck that. Like, you're a head coach. I would have fucking went out on the field and done something to let these refs know that shit is not, and nothing's done. I couldn't believe it. Saints, like you said, Tony, Greg Williams, Sean Payton. What was their game? Bounty game. Remember?
Yes.
Don't put it past. This guy was a Saint. Peyton knows exactly what would get Jimmy pissed off, and it's goddamn chess. And Sean Payton, to his credit, offensively as a head coach, is one of the best there is. How am I attacking somebody I know? I'm fucking taking them out in their head. That's exactly what happened, and unfortunately, Jimmy did not. So it was a good discussion there. Hopefully, Jimmy comes after he went out and tweeted that, Shayne. Let's see, because he's been our best red zone weapon. I even put the play up there, Cars. They fucking have Jimmy just running that corner route, and all Foles has to, he's got a pocket. Yeah. It's like a miracle. All he has to do is, he didn't even look. He just fucking threw it to Nall, and then later they came back to it and they hit it, but it was only for a first down that set up the patented, as I call it, the Matt Nagy gimmick play inside the fucking 15-yard line. The patented Nagy reverse, double sweep, whatever. Anyway, my bear down, Claudio.
Yes,
and
Jimmy Graham.
The chat. Yours. Go ahead.
Yes, Jimmy Graham is my bear down. Make it official.
There you go. You made it official. I'm going to go with my guy. Now, we talked about it with Olin. I'm going to talk about it again real quick. I have played this game, coached it. What Javon Wims did on every level is just, you can't just, I don't give two fucks what he did. This one's the secret spitter, as I put it in the open cards. We're going to play it again at the end. Now Claudio gets it. Why?
Has anybody seen anything that makes them believe that he was spit on at that point? Because there's going to be an instant reaction if you're spit on.
Let me tell you a quick story. As I said, I worked in juvenile corrections. I had to go into the fucking cell. Kids steal shit, whatever the play. We had to go in. I got spit in the face. I literally lost all my control of my life. I blacked out. I just went crazy. I think I picked this kid up and slammed him onto the bed, and I had to get removed by a guy that was 6'5", 300, because you lose it. So to Shayne's point, I'm keeping it 100. I got removed by my partner because I lost my mind instantly when you got spit in the face. There's nothing more disrespectful. So to Olin's point, as we're putting this all together, we saw the guy fucking pull his mouth guard out. I had the Walter Payton mouth guard. Remember that? When it had the front, it protected your lip. And because I loved Walter. So someone ripped that shit out. I wanted, that motherfucker. I got him the next play. I fucking just went totally at that motherfucker and got him the next play. That's how you do it. To go out there like that, and to have 5 catches on the season, to go out there and go out and one-on-one with him and not do shit, but then to come out and sucker punch him and think that it's cool and it represents something, that doesn't represent shit. Anybody could do that. My fucking
hit a
son
guy
could
in
go
a
out.
helmet, and it didn't do any
It was embarrassing.
Yeah,
I mean, you could break your hand. You could break your hand. I mean, it's just stupid. You could break your hand by doing that. Like, why?
But you punched a guy in the helmet. Like, of everywhere to hit somebody, if you want to do damage, right? Like the most protected part of the body. Like
Olin said in that situation, you give him the uppercut and then go straight to the fucking liver.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the ribs.
That sounds very old.
But that's the reality, Cars. Like, I would have so much more respect for it if it was straight up you're one-on-one and it fucking got physical thereafter and you're there. It was run in, off, pull this, punch, step back. It was like some choreographed dance move. It was like fucking breaking 3. It was ridiculous.
You still think they should cut him, Phil?
I coiled back on that. I thought about it overnight. I don't like selfish players, but I think if Khalil Mack did that, are we going to cut Khalil Mack? No. Here's the situation. Yeah. I wanted the head coach to lay down the suspension. This guy's going to... I already spoke. He fucking lied. Olin called it out too. He knew about it. He lied. I didn't see it. My head was in the playbook, as my father said on the BHL. But yeah, I don't think you can cut him after you see the whole picture. The guy did pull it, and we're going to talk about it. But as a head coach, I'm addressing that right after the game. I saw it. That is not us. He's a reflection of me. Me and Javon are going to talk about it. We already did talk about it. I can't share with what we said, but it ain't good. It's not pretty, and it was embarrassing to me, the whole team. That's how you handle it as a head coach.
I thought, quite honestly, I would have come right out that night and said, Javon's going to be sitting down versus Tennessee.
Exactly. Even if it was for one game and been proactive. Now I know.
You think he should bench him after the suspension too?
I think it's
an added suspension.
He took the pussy way out. I'm just keeping it
real.
Well, listen, he let the NFL
you knew the NFL was going to give him at least a game. So that's why you're proactive with it and you say, hey, we're going to set him down. He's not going to even travel with us to Nashville. we'll replace him.
But think about
that
the
way,
selfishness of the player in that. And I think some of these fans that are against me, and I see them in the YouTube channel, no, fuck that. He did this, he did that. You have to understand, there's 53 other guys there. 53 that penalty reflects on them. Everybody's talking to them, and it affects the game. Did it affect the outcome of the game? You can argue how it killed momentum. It puts you back in an offense that sucks.
Falls
right
through
the pick.
after.
Right.
Yeah.
He throws the pick the next play. One of the worst picks I've ever fucking seen. I don't even know where he's throwing the ball.
I don't know that we can ever say that, Phil. We've seen Rex Grossman play quarterback. We've seen Shayne Matthews.
Look at Claudio getting pissed.
Right in front of him.
Smoke weed every day.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's how we're doing this. You suspend me, I'm coming for you, Claudio. That's just how
I had nothing to do with that. If I was asked, I had nothing to do with it.
I think it's a millennial thing that we're like protecting our territory and this, that. No, this isn't. Listen, I can go into depth, but let's keep it real here. I'm team together. Like us guys, even though we joke around with cars, he's my fucking dude. I got his back 100%. That's how it is. And that's how I coach my teams. I see some of my former players that watch this. They're not even Bears fans. They watch the show. They know every time, even now with these little kids. Ask Claudio. I'm like, get your hands in. We do together on three.
I'm surprised.
Always.
I'm surprised you haven't made any of them cry yet.
I did make that kid cry.
He's fucking hard.
Have you made Claudio cry? That's more logical.
No, it's the yin yang.
Claudio was helping me. He's good cop.
Exactly. He's bad cop. I'm good.
Shocker.
Phil yells at him, and then I take him to the side. I'm like, it's okay. You did good, Joe. Don't worry about it.
Steph goes to me real quick. He goes, you gotta be nicer on these kids. He's crying over there. I go, no, there's no crying on the football field. You gotta learn it now. His father's like that. But anyway, Javon Wims, you are my bear down. There you go. Cars, you have your bear down.
Oh, it's it's the easiest one I've had in a long time, but it is Rashad Coward. Oh my God, that may have been the worst guard game I have seen in my life. That was.
I agree.
The play where they show the stunt and he has no idea what he's doing.
It's on the tape.
Even Olin tried to explain that, and I was even at that. I'm like, nah, I can't even.
No,
it was just oof. That was bad.
It's like the guys in Major League where they hit the home run. The guy's like, no, man, it's too high. Like you can't talk yourself out of that stupid play. Like you were brutal. And so I hope to God he plays better at right tackle. But I don't know how he's still on this football team.
I think he'll play better at right tackle. I'll save that for.
Well, that's a low bar, though. Like, he blocks two guys.
He's only 5'2", Bakar, so.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go.
So, yeah, Rashad Coward is my bear down player.
There you go. Rashad Coward.
Rashad.
Shayne, you get the double dip here. You're bear down, and you switch it around.
I am gonna go with number 9, Nick Foles. I was really disappointed. I mean, I know that the offensive line was in shambles. We know that, but there was a lot of plays there where he had the actual fucking pocket. I mean, Troy Aikman brought it up. Sometimes you just gotta fucking see it and step up in the pocket. And we saw so much of Jay Cutler in Nick Foles because it was retreat, fall backwards, and throw the football. And I mean, there was a couple. I'm like, what are you doing? I mean,
interception was so.
Yeah, it's unacceptable. You can't. I mean, you brought this guy in here to know your offense, to know it inside and out, and they didn't bring him in here to look like a rookie quarterback that lost all fundamentals. And hey, listen, I know that he's not the most fleet of foot. That play at the end of the game where he got fucking sacked. I should have uploaded it.
You might see it and cut it out. You might.
Okay.
Little teaser.
Yeah, you at the very fucking least, you have to just try because you're gonna get it. He's gonna get 4 or 5 yards at least on that, and that's just. I know football is a mental game, and you gotta believe in it. And if you're not believing in the guys in front of you, that's gonna be a big issue. But there was too many throws that I saw out of Nick Foles Sunday that just I'm like, come on, man. That's not why they brought you here at all. So Nick Foles, you're my bear down.
His very end of Drew Bledsoe, right? Like where he was just a statue and just seeing ghosts and feeling ghosts.
Great comp.
That's what I see so much in him right now. Like you're seeing things that aren't there. You've been hit too much, and there's a timer on every quarterback that they get there, and it's just a matter of when.
Drew Bledsoe is a great comp to that play. Phillip Rivers, for all his inability to move, somehow finds a way to step up in the pocket and deliver. Foles in this game, he didn't do it. I said it on the tape never lies, Shayne. The same thing. He's got to be able to do it. Real quick, you guys, if you're not yet a part of the Patreon Tape Never Lies Network, you're missing out. Go over to www.thetapeneverlies.com. Become a Patreon. Live shows. Listen, we're just starting with what we're doing, and we're working out the kinks. You're getting extra analysis over there today, 20 minutes or 23 minutes on YouTube. Over there, offense, defense, special teams, 43 minutes. If you love X's and O's, halftime talks and discussions, all of it broken down. We're even in talks with writers. One of them might be on our show that might be writing on our channel over there. We're getting to it. So yeah, that was a shitty sound effect. Jesus.
Yeah, but
I gotta change that. Become a Patreon.
Claude, I'm not trying to take away from your segment, but I just want to put a still photo up just to show people what I'm talking about. And you see Nick Foles there. This is that play.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
you're getting to at least the 38.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just he made it worse, way worse by that. It's you just can't on a team that has so many issues like the Bears do offensively. A veteran quarterback that's familiar with this offense like he is, you can't double down and make it worse like that. No way.
No fucking way.
Philatogen, Shayne Marshall. The Tape Never Lies Network.
Bear up! There you go. Bear up, Shayne. Bear up. Who's your bear up this game?
I think I might have went with the same guy last week. I'm not 100% sure, but Roquan, I'm very, very happy with the mindset that number 58 is playing with. Roquan is becoming that guy. Just the one play, man. I thought he had the walk off. Yeah. I really did. That would have been the perfect capper, and I think that would have propelled him honestly for the rest of the season. But he's making the plays consistently now all over the field that we've been waiting for. It's gotta continue. And I brought it up with Olin, and he agreed with Chuck Pagano's, where we talked about situationally where he's being passive, and it's all a direct result of where the offense is. But at some point, you're going to have to consistently deploy this kid in some blitz packages. Yeah. To disrupt plays, because he's compact, but he's so goddamn explosive. And he's the perfect person, or the perfect player for that situation. And he's a guy that's got to step up really, really big this week in Nashville. I mean, for the Bears to have any any chance, because this is the week to me with the offense is, let's be honest, it's a wild card every week, but we really don't know what's going to happen this weekend. I think you just have to take chances on defense. I think the defense is going to have to score for these guys to have a chance, and I think a big part of that is going to be Pagano unleashing Roquan on some blitzes. So keep it up, 58, man. He's exactly what we drafted him for. So Roquan Smith, you are my bear up.
Look at you. Really good choice. I got to say this real quick. Tremendous effort. I really thought Pagano made an error in judgment in attacking this team. And granted, the Bears did a good job, but my game plan would have been 58 on 41 wherever, every day, all day. Every passing down, that's manned up. That's your guy. And really, there's a play on the Patreon that I put up that just isolates on Roquan Smith. And he's one-on-one versus probably, in my opinion, the best running back out of the backfield in the NFL, and it's not close. He understands his leverage concept, and now the dude catches the ball, but the appreciation for the closing burst and the ability to not get burnt at the stem against that Texas route, you can't even understand how hard that is as a linebacker to be isolated on an island one-on-one against that kind of athlete. And Roquan not only covers him, he gets his hand in there, is trying to get the ball out and wraps him up and brings him down. It's one of the most impressive plays I've seen a defender make, and that's with Khalil Mack's plays this year. It was just the epitome of what you want to do, and I really think if Pagano would have taken that chance and gotten that dude out of the game, you probably would have won that football game. And the fourth down play, Shayne, he's icing, and Cars and Claudio, he's isolating in there. Fucking Khalil Mack takes ram check and dude,
good God,
he took a guy that's like 4 times his size. Like Ramchek is a fucking freak in nature, power and stuff. Khalil Mack lifts him up, and just I wish I isolated more. I got to do that for Patreon. I'm just gonna take that fourth down toss and just show you what Khalil Mack does to the line of scrimmage, and
it's disgusting.
And
like,
then
it is
Roquan just fucking fires right through the gap and just boom, and that's really gets me excited. I love it. I love the pick. Cars, who's your guy? Since Shayne's not here to.
Well, I mean, it's easy. It's Matt Net. Oh wait, sorry. No,
I would have killed you.
No,
remove him from.
Yeah, remove from show.
No.
For me, it goes back to the tried and true. It's Darnell Mooney, who's really been impressive on his route running.
I don't think it was. It's like a fantasy draft.
Exactly.
I had the last pick. There's no way that guy was gonna get to me.
Yeah, we saw it the week before in the way that he kind of just broke Ramsey's ankles. We saw that continuing this past week. He runs really good routes. He's got the speed. Like, we were all wondering when that big play was going to come, and he finally got one of them. And I hope that snowballs. But he's cemented that number 2 position for us. It's not even a question after that OT drop for Anthony Miller, right? Like, it's 100% he's the guy, and I'm hoping this builds to something bigger. So Darnell Mooney is my bear up player of the week.
My son's becoming a big Mooney fan because of Uncle Claudio with Mo Mooney.
It's like Knox. I see Johnny Knox so much in that, and I love Johnny as a player. And I just see all those little flashes of that guy who's like a little too thin that you think, but it plays much bigger than he is, and I love it.
Oh, I put it up on the tape, never lies. The deep ball where he tracks back and he's getting interfered with 100 out of 100. If he was a veteran player, that flag would have came out. The refs blew that call. He adjusts in the air to the route like a true pro. Yeah. And what's his name, 23, is draped on him, impeding him to adjust. I couldn't believe it wasn't called. The more I watched it, the angrier I got. Great pick. This guy going down the football field, finally connected with Nick Foles, and I think he's better than Johnny Knox, to be honest. That's how his ability to recognize the ball and the velocity of it, and then some of the routes. And you're seeing the Bears are getting predictable now with him. They're going to put him back on you're going to see it again this week. You're going to put him back on the wing. He's going to go in motion, breathe the wing, and then he's going to come back, and they're trying to find his leverage. Coach, just start running him on a skinny post. Get that safety to start tracking this fucking kid, because you could put him in the slot or outside. This kid is dangerous, and he's not just a 9-route guy. You know those guys that could just run a fade. This kid could do the tree, and it's really exciting to see. So good choice.
Ryan Pace drafted a 9-route guy, 7th overall in a draft. Let's not forget that. So
Mooney's just getting better every week. And I picked him up and started him in my fantasy team this week.
And he's a rookie. And he's a rookie.
I mean,
he's got to charge less for his fucking hoodies. Mooney.
I got the
$85.
Hat. I can't do the hoodie.
We're gonna be having some swag.
But I can't do the hoodie.
How about that?
We are.
Let me put that up there real quick.
Someone asked about the TTNL hat.
Like a sandman, a bar flock and burning his wine. Like a sand. There's our life. There's our life. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys Trap Talk and the smartest man alive.
The Tape Never Lies Network
Oh shit! Tape never lies.
starts now.
Look at that. They put that together. The social media and swag team coming together there. I got to thank them. Yes, they're working diligently on getting Bears Hour Live swag, Keepin It 100 swag, Tape Never Lies, Fuck a Play, The Walrus, 420 Claudio, smoke weed every day. So there's going to be a lot of stuff. Keep yourselves posted. We'll keep you posted. We're working on hats. Shayne is a big hat designer. I don't think you know that, Cars. He's very picky about his hats. So
he's not picky. He just buys everything that says Bears on it in a hat.
Pretty much.
That's just what he does.
Hila hates it.
Yeah.
Well, we're designing the Tape Never Lies network.
Cars is my guy. I tell all the secrets to him. Like, look what I just bought. And I'm going to get in so much trouble. Send him like 6 pictures of hats in like a 4-day span. I'm like, yeah, she doesn't know.
Yeah, Steph will be like, what is he telling you to buy now? He's like, what do you mean? I don't understand.
Oh, Shayne at one point bought all my hats. That's how good he's been to me. Now I bought this hat, Shayne, that I'm wearing.
I don't give a fuck that he smokes weed. They all smoke weed.
Smoke weed every day.
Gotta do it, Claudia.
The original. That's the original. I love that one. That's the original. The OG clip.
That's a great clip by Alex Acevedo, also on the swag team.
Yeah,
he
apologized. He's like, I'm sorry I started this. I'm sorry. I'm like, it's all good, dude. The fans love it. It's all good.
Claude's all about the fans. You're getting a big following. People are waiting for your cut it out segment every week. Let me stop delaying it.
So I don't know.
My bear up this week. I'm tempted to do something I've never done before. And so I'm going to do it. Because I wanted to go with a certain skill set in the backfield. But it's been a long time. In fact, never have I ever done this. That I would say a kicker is going to be my bear up. And that... Cairo Santos.
I thought you were going to do Leno. Oh, man.
Oh, no.
I was about to...
I watched too much tape to do that.
This show will end if that ever happens.
People will stop following.
It would be a fraud.
Oh, God. The reality is, why is that up there?
What?
I put it up there.
Oh, I was going to say, I didn't put it.
Oh man, that's our guy. Retro TV and movies, Matt. Oh, he did the LOL. He did an LOL. Doesn't mean anything. But listen, Cairo Santos, game on the line. These 50-plus yarders. He hits it. Peyton calls timeout. Bears fans have to live through the anxiety of that for that time. Shayne's already admitted he had no confidence. I don't know.
I didn't.
You guys.
I would have. Yeah.
Claudio,
I was ready to throw down 5K on it.
Cars, were you confident in it?
Yeah, actually, it's weird. He's been the reverse of every kicker we've had. It was something about the 55-yarder he hit 2 weeks ago or whatever, the long one. I was like, all right, this is the guy. We're good. We're good.
Poor
Tony's a big Cars fan.
Sweet.
Should kick Carr. Listen, to hit that a second time into the wind, the composure. I mean, I haven't felt this way with a kicker since Robbie Gould.
I felt good about the first one when they called the timeout. I'm like, yep, we're fucked. I just had I lost all my confidence there.
Because that's what happened with Parkey, right?
Yeah.
He hit the one, and you're like, fuck, he's missing this one.
Yeah.
I felt pretty good. I still had anxiety, but that's every kick. So he's being a Bears fan. But this dude has come in here and he's made... I don't even know the Pinheiro mystery at this point. It's like unsolved.
It doesn't matter right now.
Exactly.
Hey,
the reality
take all the time you need.
Not
our
gonna work
kicker.
here anymore. I think is exactly what
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
I don't think he's gonna get the job back now.
He's obviously passed the baton. It's like that story with, what was it, Mickey Mantle? Who was the one?
Lou Gehrig.
It was Lou Gehrig. And who was the Wally
Pip?
Wally
There
Pip.
you go.
The Wally Pip
I think
story.
you got to come up with a Cairo Santos song.
Yeah, we're
Came
gonna
up
have
with
to.
Eddie
No.
Guerrero.
Let's let him do his thing. He doesn't need a song.
Okay.
Let's.
All right.
We don't want
The song's gonna jinx
We don't
him.
want to. Yeah, we don't want to jinx him.
Okay.
I just
We're
want
trying
you
to.
do.
We're trying to figure out who's gonna Wally Pip Claudio.
People are DMing me. I love Claudio, but I would love to do his job. Can I have a spot on the show?
Well, Lawrence wanted to throw his name in the ring last week.
Lawrence Funk was ready.
Yeah,
He was
Lawrence Funk
Funk.
did a great job.
He was.
It's not the obvious one.
Yeah, are you sure? I knew it was this play. Oh, wow. What's going on, man? All right.
Charles Leno needs help here. It's
coaching.
This ball almost gets intercepted.
Know your personnel.
Watch Leno.
Watching
where
my
you're
play.
unable to just simply control and maintain the protection. Watch him reach out. Now he's off balance, reaching down. Your head should never go down as an offensive tackle. See, drips down, ushers him back. Sing the song, 7 o'clock. Every week we're doing the usher.
Charles, Matt Nagy has talked about throughout the season about self-scouting and evaluating your play. How do you feel you have played through the first 7 games this season?
Thought I played so far so good. Still got a lot of areas to improve. I just want to continue to work on my improvement. Getting better each week. It's not about where I'm at right now. It's about where I'm at the end of the season. So I'm just focused on getting better every single week, man.
Oh, hell no!
Number 72, Leno. He's awful.
I'm so sick of all these haters. Like, started from the bottom, now we here.
Charles Leno, I mentioned him being a 7th round draft pick. Can you sit here with a clear conscience and say that Arlington Hambright would be worse?
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
My name is no. My sign is no. My number is no. My number is no. Give me so let it go.
Thought I played so far so good.
So far, so good, Cars.
That's the greatest self-scouting job.
I'm getting
I've
better
ever
every
seen.
week.
It would have been
Didn't he
better
sound-
if he was just like counting
No,
money.
he's
No, I've been
so-
fine. I've been all right.
He sounded so. You sounded so confident about that, didn't you? You know,
it's not where I'm at right now.
Maybe did the check clear? Did the check clear? Yeah, I've been all right. I've been all right. It's fine.
Oh my God, we can't make this team up. But to Olin's credit, they're 5-3 somehow, and they continue to crush the heart and soul. And that was me who made that, Tony. So yeah, you could blame me for that. But we have fun here on Keeping It 100. That's what we do, like nobody else. They can try to imitate us. You gotta fucking laugh at some point. There's so much shit going on in this world. We don't even have a president yet. I'm not trying to get political, Claudio. But
shit, there it goes.
There
it goes. Good night,
I
everybody.
thought maybe we could make it through a whole show before.
I put people in timeout in the chat for bringing up politics.
I was worried about copyright with the music, and then Phil's got to go and talk politics.
See ya.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's like we
0.0.
Exactly. They're still living in zero. So, Cairo Santos from Draft Dr. Phil. Can't believe I'm picking a kicker.
That's amazing.
My bear
He
up.
deserves it.
That
He
is
does.
amazing. You guys don't understand how amazing that is that he picked a kicker. So, I mean, obviously, I'm going to pick the guy that I thought you were going to pick. My bold prediction came true.
Yes.
I said 20 plus carries.
There you go.
For Montgomery. And he didn't, disappoint. The dude had a big run. The dude broke 20 tackles, I think, in that one game.
Oh.
I mean, the guy is just, I tell Phil every time, and just this dude is just so good.
Give him a rhythm, Nagy. 1 week.
Some of the holes the other team has on us, I'm sitting there like, if Montgomery has those holes, he's going for 150. He's taking over the game. So, I mean, come on. This guy
I wish
is
I had a
just
clip
amazing.
right now of how, of Leno to interrupt and be like, why doesn't he have these holes? Man, I've been all right. I've been blocking okay.
Exactly.
Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, this guy he's amazing. And it's a shame that he's not getting the credit he deserves because he's not putting up the numbers. And finally, like I said, he's getting the carries. So hopefully Nagy's going to keep giving him these carries.
What is this attitude right here? Like, have some fucking fun in your life, Swanky. I don't get you.
Oh, that's how Swanky tries to get on the show. He's a dick.
He's always being that.
We fall for it every
I'm just, I call out all the bullshit, guys. You gotta know me. Ask Claudio. Shayne calls it out too. I'll give you that, Shayne. But I just don't get. What the fuck are you talking about? It's a big deal. There's a lot of shit. No shit. That's why we're fucking here with Olin Kreutz for an hour and talking bear up, bear down, and having fun because it's
outside of
that.
this, we all got fucking masks on and we can't do nothing. So this is where we come that fucking fun.
I guess maybe
so just, what the fuck?
Context of his text. I don't know.
We're fine. We read too much into
Lighten
it.
up,
Jesus.
Francis. That's
There it
exactly.
is.
Remember Pee Wee Herman? What would he say? Francis, remember? I just remember that song. I think Swanky does need a timeout. Thunder, look at Thunder Girl. She understands it. Italian Stallion gets it. I mean, we're having fun. Claudio, I got to agree. I'm watching the tape. I fucking David Montgomery is like fucking late for his wedding at the subway and needs to weave through a fucking crowd of 500. It's just unbelievable.
I was just about to say, Marshawn Lynch always reminded me of somebody running through a crowd. Like when you run through a crowd, you're like going like this, you're pushing a guy, and I see that in Montgomery, and he could be a special player. So let's hope it continues.
It took me 17 hours to cut the first tape Never Lies, and then another 4 or 5 to condense it. And I'm well, I do give a fuck. You see how much he cares about me.
I guess I hit that wrong.
I do give a fuck. The point I was trying to make as I'm watching all these runs by this poor guy, he doesn't ever get a fucking blocked play even one time appropriate. Everybody doing it together. So to appropriately assess him, I hear what Olin was saying because of the speed and the break.
That's just not who he is. That's just not who he is. And it's not who he is.
It really is an indictment on the GM. I just never really put it all together in my head, but it was like, boom, it hit me like a fucking cannonball when he traded Jordan Howard out of town. Yeah. And you got David Montgomery, who's the tackle breaking machine. Yes, David Montgomery has better hands, but they're similar running styles.
And he gave up extra picks to do it. Don't forget.
Exactly. This fucking GM, man, the fucking smoking gun that's going on with him. I just get it. So anyway, Claudio.
So David Montgomery, he's definitely my bear up.
I miss Jordan Howard as well. I miss having another running back. When Olin said, "Well,
I think you could have got him. You could have got him for a conditional 7th rounder. I mean, he's been a healthy scratch in
Jordan Howard. You mean?
Yeah.
Oh my God, they would never fucking bring him back.
What's up with Lamar Miller? I mean,
I just think it's the ACL, man. I don't think he's ready to go.
Not ready.
Yeah.
Well, you'll never get an answer for that.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate thing because
I'd rather see him back there than fucking Patterson. Really.
Anybody worth their grain of salt, if you don't subscribe to this channel, the YouTube channel, or go to the Patreon channel and really get the analysis, then you're doing it wrong because tonight was a showcase of that. Having Olin on here, really taking a yellow highlighter, Shayne. I know you hate those. And just saying, fucking tape never lies.
It's a blast from the past.
Exactly. So we're getting it all together tonight. I don't get how the fuck our guy, Cordero Patterson's your number 2 back. In what world are we living in? I just don't get it. You got to get a running back in there, and hopefully they get to that part. But we do something, Claude. I'm just seeing if you're set up. You are.
Yeah, I got it ready. I think I should be good.
All right.
It's my favorite weekly segment.
Listen, if it isn't your favorite weekly segment, it should be. Because every week our guy scours the internet to find all
Claudio was promoting. Claudio heard Carr say it's his favorite. So he's like, he's talking about me. He's talking about me.
I got the shit ready on YouTube.
You see how Claudio...
See, Cars doesn't care about your shit.
I know.
Like, fuck them this week.
I saw Claudio's eye. Then he looked down. He's like, "Wait a minute." Cars usually loves my segment.
that extra edible is setting me up.
Listen, Shayne scours the internet, the Twitter sphere, to find the dumbest tweets of the week. He brings them to our attention and to your attention, and we always do it like this.
Dumbest tweets of the week.
Oh yeah, the dumbest tweets of the week. We always do it in a special way. But I'm trying to find our... There it is. Are we in the right spots? No. So you
Not
go
at all.
There. You go there, and there we are. All right, let's do this. Isn't that pretty, Cars? Everybody's... Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be so fucking good. Cars are going to love my segment more, yeah.
Doubt it. Really doubt it.
He's the smartest man. He's as consistent as the California sun. He will always pack himself his own goddamn lunch. This guy confronts you head on, toe to toe. He's not cool with a pussy-ass sucker punch. He's the smartest man. And this is his dumbest tweets of the week. A little fast on the fade-out, Claude.
I know.
A little fast.
Getting this.
He's butchering my segment. It's all part of his fucking grand plan.
It's all a part of his plan.
Like it.
This was a late entry to
really?
the dumbest tweets. It was actually one that came out today. Cars actually replied to it on Twitter, but yeah, right here, Cap and J Hood at Cap J Hood. If Mitch Trubisky is Ryan Pace's worst decision, is Khalil Mack his second worst? I didn't know if it was Dan Aguirre tweeting for Cap and J Hood. I'm kidding,
Someone
Dan.
on a roid rage? I don't know.
Yeah. Can we fucking move past this ridiculousness of people saying that Khalil Mack wasn't or isn't living up to his contract, and he's most times when he takes the field, he's the best player on the fucking field, no matter who you're playing. That's how fucking dominant and how good this guy is.
Football's not a one guy wins all like Michael Jordan. This isn't basketball. It's not soccer where there's a Pele that could dominate. Football can't be won by one. It can't. And you can quote me on that. There's in the history of the sport, all of them, even the greatest to ever play, in my opinion, Walter Payton, couldn't do it by himself. Couldn't. And that is a problem with people like that. I don't know if it's to get clicks or attention, but it's certainly, what is that? Shock jock mentality. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that just doesn't fly here. Like that.
Yeah, I think somebody put it in the chat, and it's true. They put shit out like that to create chaos, be like they want people to see that and then respond to it instantly. And yeah,
Han Solo.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
the and you see that's pretty much what Twitter has turned into to get these different shows publicity. They'll put out some ridiculous comment, and then they'll have everybody reply to it, and then it
see some of these
becomes
shitty
viral.
Networks and shitty fucking podcasts and bloggers doing the same. That shit doesn't. You got to be authentic. If I could give people some advice with your shows that suck, you turn around, look in the mirror, stop doing steroids, and start studying and know what the fuck you're talking about.
Right.
Because real people recognize real talk. And you can take that wherever you want, and you can market the shit out of being contrarian and have a different opinion to try to get attention. But at some point, that shit ends in a fucking a watery grave. That's what my father would say. He's like, you gotta be authentic. And you could see when my dad comes on, he's going to keep it 100 in his opinion. He's not going to,
I think that's a family trait, Phil. I think subtlety is not something that genetically has been passed down.
We use fly swatters. They use hammers in the Atoshan household to kill flies.
I did say get a hammer out and knock Nagy in the head with getting under center.
Yeah.
Just get under center and start doing that anyway.
So we do
we have a double.
We do. Well, actually,
hold on, Claudio. Gotta learn the system.
We're not there yet.
Claudio had some technical issues.
Yeah, I had to go out and come back in, so I'm getting it ready.
But yeah, we do have more than one dumb tweet, but we have part 2 here, and then we have part 2 of part 2. So this is the first part, and this is going to be a video dumbest tweet.
Oh, really?
From back in April, because we are the network that holds people accountable. So I
love this.
I saw this, and I remembered it because I saw the rebuttal to it just the other day. So I had to go back a little bit and pull this out of the archives.
This is
but
great.
This is everybody's favorite PFF on rookie quarterback Justin Herbert before he was drafted back in April.
This is the unveiling of truth.
Yeah, listen to what they say.
I think he'll come off the board as the third quarterback. I don't think he can play. Like, honestly, he can't play. He's late on every throw. Like, if he throws to his first read, like, oh, okay, it's fine, I guess. But he's late on every throw. I think the stat that Mike put out the other day about, just looking at throws to just open receivers, and he just misses them like once every 5 throws. I mean, that's terrible.
Thanks, PFF.
They're usually so on the money too. It's
Yeah,
really
so
unusual for them.
if we fast forward to present day, here's the same crew that was just ethering poor Justin Herbert live on air. Here's the same crew.
Like it never happened.
Breaking down Justin Herbert now.
After a stellar performance against the Jacksonville Jaguars in Week 7, I'm ready to say Los Angeles Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert is having a better season than number 1 overall pick Joe Burrow. He right now ranks 15th in PFF passing grade. Burrow ranks 16th in PFF passing grade. And the reason is Justin Herbert is hitting the valuable throws down the football field to Guyton, to Virgil Green, Keenan Allen on the back shoulder. This guy has that special arm talent needed to hit those throws 15, 20 plus yards downfield. 3 quarterbacks with the most big time throws as rookies through the first 7 weeks of the season: Cam Newton, Andrew Luck, and Justin Herbert. He's a special kid with special arm talent. I think sky's the limit for him.
These motherfuckers.
Never trust a guy wearing glasses giving information on football. That's, I think, what we've really learned in this.
What I really think is that I never.
But
said
it just
any of that
it
stuff
just
that I
shows
said
you
before.
a lot of people. Phil knows that I'm a guy that never forgets shit like that, and Phil be like,
man.
"Where the fuck did you get it?" I mean, I've got a pretty good track record with that stuff. So when I went back and was looking at that, I'm just like, but this is what happens with these guys. They have the financial backing and all of this the PFF empire, but they put all this shit out there and they're gonna drag this kid, and now they're gonna fucking praise him because he's fucking doing well, and people buy into the hype train. Now Herbert has exceeded my expectations for what I had on him, but I never thought the dude was a fucking dog or anything like that, and it just shows you PFF doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. And even, hey, every one of us have been wrong on something. These guys are just fucking full steam ahead on the bullshit train and doing what they do. So, yeah, PFF, go fuck yourself. You're my dumbest tweet of the week.
Beautiful. That's that Matt Millerisms. They do this thing like they never said what they said. I remember me and Matt going at it about the guy we're playing this weekend, Shayne. I had him as my number 1 back, and he says that he's a fullback. He's a fullback. That's it. How could you not see Ezekiel Elliott better than him? And I'm
yes, Swanky. I've seen your comment every week. I've also talked about it. I've had him number 1.
That's the thing.
You're not breaking news. Yeah, I'm not. You're not breaking fucking news, and you're not being sneaky. Tell your mother I'll see her later.
Nobody hides from. Everybody's gonna have mistakes, but the thing is, does everybody own their mistakes? That's the thing. And I could speak for my boy Shayne, who laugh about it like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, but you say it here. What you're seeing there is,
and I was 100% wrong. I think he got drafted into the worst possible scenario for him.
Oh yeah,
in Cleveland.
Yeah, Hugh is always a great guy to go play for. Can't wait for his tell-all book about how it wasn't his fault at all.
But I'll wholeheartedly agree. I was wrong, but I think Kaiser was a talent. I think he had a lot of the traits that I like seeing in a quarterback, but he didn't make it, and I was wrong. So yeah, thank you for holding me accountable, Swanky.
Thanks, Swanky.
Still a chance.
Yeah.
So you say there's a chance. Hey, would you be against putting him on the practice squad of Kaiser?
No.
Not me.
I mean, I'd take him over Mitch Trubisky. All right, I'm going to leave. I'm going to show
Oh, here they come.
That's tough. I'm saying I would not be against having that kid on the practice squad and see what he could do. I mean,
yeah, but he doesn't have 8 years in this offense, Phil.
Oh man.
He did have 2 good years of college.
How many years in the Arena League did he have? Listen, seen this game so much. There's so much bias. There's a kid probably there, undrafted, no one's given a shot, that's better than 50% of what's backing up. And that's just the truth. There's bias and politics in this game. And the great GMs, which we don't have, recognize it doesn't matter. This guy thinks he's the smartest guy because he's taking a Division III fucking tight end. I'm going to show him all. When really, the reality is finding the talent. I don't give, even if it was a Division III tight end, you got to find the talent and assess it appropriately. To Cars's point, you look at that first round, you look at the promises and the lies, the drafting a quarterback every year.
We don't talk about promises and drafting. Cars and I are Bulls fans. That's like a death sentence
Chandler
for us.
Hutchinson is on our fucking basketball team. Anyways, all right, that's a sore subject.
Anyway, now, Claudio, we're going to do our positive tweets. Shayne, you don't have any more negatives, right?
No, all positive from here on out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Swanky's mom's gonna be getting some later, yeah.
He's the smartest man. It's easy to see who's giving their all and who's not giving everything. With no accountability, visor-wearing coaches who run red zone jet sweeps, no way in hell, I'm sorry, Cars, are the Bears ever gonna wear a goddamn ring. He's the smartest man, and this is his best tweet of the week. There you go, Claude.
He's getting there.
He's almost gone.
He hasn't totally butchered my segment, but he hasn't lit it on fire yet. Thanks, Claude. But this is another two-parter, but this is going to be by one. Oh. What is he doing?
I have no idea what happened.
There he goes.
He was freezing up a little bit.
This is maybe a potential GM in the future sent out this tweet, and that is Mr. Louis Riddick.
Oh,
and
does he want his job?
This came out during the Bears game. When you see the same fundamental mistakes by multiple and different players within a position group, that is a coaching issue. Let me take it a step further. Either you are coaching bad fundamentals or you are allowing it to happen and not doing something to break the pattern of mistakes. Modify the methods used to coach, teach, modify the scheme to better fit the player or to replace the player. Now, everybody, well, maybe not everybody knows, but Matt Nagy and Louis Riddick are close. And I think was a direct shot at Matt Nagy and his coaching staff, 100%.
I read that especially about Furry, right? Like,
yeah.
I know he's a really nice guy and he's very uplifting and everything, but outside of the line, who's let you down more? Allen Robinson had a bad start. Miller's had a bad, kind of inconsistent year. Wims, that the guys you kept aren't really doing you any favors.
Does Riley Ridley get out there this Sunday?
He's got to.
God no.
They won't, but I agree.
I need a bet on this.
If they don't, it's come on. I mean, he deserves a chance now. I mean, unless he was maybe he snorted blow off a hooker's ass at Hallis Hall. I don't know, but you got to give the kid a fucking chance to get out there because he didn't disappoint in his limited reps when he was on the field.
No.
He's got the size. He's got the frame. Listen, we've talked about this 100 times. I actually should have brought it up with Olin when he was talking about wanting to see more screen passes. Phil, we talk about it all the time. Slant passes. He's another guy. He's another bigger body that you can put out there. And if they don't give him some reps this week, when you just released Ginn, Javon Wims is not out there. He's got to dress this weekend and play. He's got to. But to Carr's point, if they don't, it will not surprise me.
I honestly will have an issue big time. I will
I agree.
fucking go live I will fucking rip this fucking head coach, this fucking scumbag wide receiver coach. If that's how you're gonna fucking do people, that is, you can't be next man up mentality in front of a fucking mic. And I'm sorry, Cars. That I'm with Rel. That Riddick is straight at fucking Nagy and this offense. And I saw Claudio took that. It was a good comment down. Aikman fucking destroyed Matt Nagy on air. He absolutely. And listen, this isn't like, oh fuck, can't comment. You guys love yourself, whatever. Well, don't you love yourself? I mean, all I'm giving is the fact. We've said this for years now. It's coming to fruition that everybody's now jumping. But the reality is, the proof is in the fucking pudding. The Tape Never Lies Network. That's the reality. That's who we are. And that's what we stand by. And the truth has come out. I think Riddick hit it perfectly. Look at H.L. Priest. He's been on fire tonight, this dude. And I've seen some people sign up for the Patreon network tonight right in the chat. Signing up. www, Claudio, .the tape never lies. I know he keeps freezing there. We got a little bit of business. I know there's another one, but I wanted to make sure that, here you go. tapeneverlies.com right there, Claudio. Great job. Glad I did it for you.
Thanks. You got to do something on this show, Phil. You don't do enough.
Chris Gonzalez is a page. Look at him. He's wearing his shirt there. Look, it's part of his.
That's actually not his number. That's his height.
4'5". Yeah. He is small, but I have respect for small people. If you're not a member of the patronage team, the crew, the charter member, like Will Hill, number 113, he knows it now. Shayne will give you your number so you fucking know it now. I'm working with this lady. I'm trying to, you know those cartoon images of us? Let me pull them up. Hold on. What the fuck is it? I'm in the wrong segment. Here we go. We'll give you Shayne's. Take that comment down. See Shayne's little cartoon? Wazram on Twitter. Follow him. That little cartoon, we're trying to get you guys an ability to get your cartoon done of yourself at a cheap price to put your, patronage number that you are on that. So I'm working on that with an artist. If they don't like the number I'm giving them, then we're going to move on like Tony Soprano to the next fucking person to do it. But I love you guys on the Patreon side. I love all of you guys in the chat. Shayne, you got another great tweet?
Those are my tweets of the week, Phil.
Look at that. Look at that. It's fucking impressive, man.
I don't give a fuck that he smokes weed. They all smoke weed.
Smoke weed every day.
Listen, after every Bears game, Shayne and I go live. If you don't know by now and living under that rock, there was over 4,000 people watching our show this past Sunday. Hopefully you join in on Bears Hour Live after every Bears game.
It's the best Chicago Bears post-game show on the planet, bar none. It's Bears Hour Live immediately after each and every Bears game with host Shayne, the smartest man, and draft Dr. Phil Otosha every Sunday, Monday, or Thursday, immediately after Bears games. Your guys, draft Dr. Phil and Shayne Marsaw are live on Bears Hour Live. Subscribe to the show via the Tape Never Lies Network, which can be found on YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch. It's the best Chicago Bears post-game show on the planet, Bears Hour Live.
Oh shit!
Oh shit. That's right. Every Sunday, Thursday, or Monday. Shayne hates those primetime games. He's up late, then he's up early delivering the mail because he's the mailman. And we will be live this Sunday after the Tennessee Titans game. We also are going to have our boy Greg Braggs. I know Cars' boy. I guess Greg is going to be at the game He's gonna jump on the show with us on Bears Hour Live. Let us know. We had our boy Sonny on when we played the Carolina Panthers. So Greg, if you haven't seen Greg's show, Bragg's in the stands, Shayne. Bragg's in the stands, but I thought you were gonna take your shot at him.
No, I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be nice to Glenn.
Yes, Greg is one of the best dudes. Follow him on Twitter and check out his show. And that's it. Hopefully, maybe we bring Cars and him to debate Foles versus Trubisky at some point this season.
No.
Last bit of news before we go to everybody's favorite Italian-American segment. Listen, our guys at Shy City Sports, they sponsor this show. They support us. Steven has made some graphics for us. Some of these lower thirds. Guys over there are great dudes. Give them a shot. Check out their show. It's called the Bearfront Podcast.
Shy City Sports.
Hey, it's Steven.
And Nick from the Bearfront Podcast from ShyCitySports.com.
Every week, join us for in-depth Bears talk as we break down the matchups ahead of each week's game.
And join us following every game for what we saw and what we wish we had seen on the Hurry Up Recap.
So subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and stay tuned to ShyCitySports.com for the latest from the Bearfront Podcast. And now, back to Keepin' It 100 with Draft Dr. Phil Atoshin and Shayne, the smartest man Marsaw.
Shy City Sports, Bearfront Podcast. Hey, don't forget Claudio and our resident nerd, Cars. Follow Cars at Bears Nerd and check out his writings as he breaks down in writing some thorough, in-depth analysis of the Chicago Bears. See, I don't fucking read because I have no time, because I'm constantly...
Thanks for the plug there, Phil. That's really good. Yeah, that's...
No, he's got video on there, Phil.
But that was my butt. Listen, I could see you were that dude that stood on the side at the dances. I was giving you a butt.
No.
You danced?
Wow. Are you kidding? Do you see me? Do I look like I dance?
Well, I don't want to judge a book by its cover.
You judge this book by that cover. I mean, you 100% do that.
All right, then. I guess you didn't dance at the dances. I was a dancer. I don't know.
No.
He was too busy getting beat up by Scottie Pippen. At what store was it?
Oh, really?
There's a story. Yeah, that's yes. Scotty and Larsa.
That's a big man.
We're an interesting power couple. That's for sure.
Scotty and who?
His ex-wife now? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Larsa, I think her name is, right?
Larsa. Larsa. I thought you said Lars. I was like, Scottie Pippen is.
No.
Okay. I thought you were breaking news here. I didn't know. But anyway, are you going to tell
the answer is no. Are Shayne and Phil allowing Cars to be a Patreon member? He gets charged double.
We charge him $14 a month.
Yep, yes. And he still doesn't get to see the content.
Yeah, I still don't.
Especially after his take on Nagy. We had to
Coach of the Year, Matt Nagy. That's right. Let's go.
The Tape Never Lies Network, home of the greatest Chicago Bears fans on earth.
That's right, Adam Rank. That's what we need with Olin and all of them. Adam Rank, our boy, he was checking in tonight, telling everybody what's up. He believes. Hopefully the Tennessee game, we'll see. We're going to do that soon. But right now...
Well, hold on 1 second, dude. StreamYard is giving me some issues again, so I'm not seeing the videos you're putting up. All these videos you've been putting up, I'm not seeing it. So I don't know if I'm going to see the cut it out. So
let me see it.
How about you guys? Can you see this?
Smoke weed every day.
You didn't see that?
Oh, it literally came and all the music stopped.
What came? Who came?
Who came?
Well, no, the 420 the 420 version of me. But it's not
physical. Let's get walrus visit.
God, the family home videos. How'd you find those?
So maybe I'll leave. You guys talk about whatever, and I'll come back, and maybe it'll be better.
okay.
I don't know what to tell you because I don't think I'm going to see the video. The shit's just not working right now for me. StreamYard. It's StreamYard.
All right.
Just reboot.
Do
Plug
the
it in
yeah.
and unplug it.
Try to
Yeah, I'll just restart it.
Yeah, restart everything.
We'll,
All right.
We'll manage without.
See what happens when you sabotage my segment?
Yeah, see, you sabotage mine worse.
Listen, my night started out the same way with the StreamYard stuff. It gets you frustrated because cars, I ended up paying a lot of money to updo the memory and did this on a brand new computer, and it still was giving problems earlier. Have I done it again tonight, Shayne?
No. Early you did. You were in and out, but it's been good.
No, like in the Olin interview, everything was good. Perfect.
Yeah, everything was good. You dragged on a little bit a couple times, but you know.
Well, that's not a computer problem. That's just a week by week
Oh,
issue.
right.
Listen,
Just keep. I love you, but just keep it at 100, Phil. Just keep it at 100.
Oh, man. Hey.
Those are my favorite comments on YouTube. Hey, I fucking love you guys, but real quick,
There's
your
always a
fucking
but.
promos suck dick.
Yo, listen.
If you could just cut that down by 11 and a half seconds, it'd be fucking so dope.
If you could clean it up and post, that would be even better. Yeah.
I love the criticisms. They're like, listen, the rant, you gotta not do the rant. Like, shut the fuck up. Just please. It's like Shayne had a great line. It's like you can't please anybody or everybody. It's the reality.
It's like being married.
It was like the best line
so
was
true.
Jesus came down, he gave everybody ham. And people got ham, and then they're like, where's the fucking bread?
Where's the fucking bread?
Where's the fucking bread?
Oh, you're not going to do this podcast for free? You think you're fucking Netflix? Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
It's like, I don't think you should be swearing on your show, dude. It's not like, come on.
There's children up at 1 a.m. watching your show, asshole. You shouldn't swear.
Exactly. It's
Okay.
like, you can't, I can't make it up, Cars.
Show Timmy this. It was
That's
almost
right.
perfect timing with Claudio's
You
return.
almost came right on the return. That's what she said.
Please don't say that again. Please don't ever say that again.
You got video, Claude?
Well, play a quick video so I can see if it works.
Hold on.
Shy City Sports.
Good.
Okay.
We didn't play a video yet, though. You just saw something?
I did.
Well, that's weird.
That's just weird.
Well, it should be fun.
Boy, that LSD finally just kicked in. This will be great.
So the story goes, this guy, we gave him a job. He was shocked when we called him. It was actually my wife was like, why don't you? I go, holy fuck, Shayne was mentioning Claudio too. And Claudio's like my brother. So I'm like, I didn't even think of Claudio.
Claudio's
Take over
like,
the moderator.
maybe someday I'll even meet Shayne, he says. after we ate dinner together one night for like 6 hours at the same fucking table.
That was great.
That's funny.
So then Claudio came to life because we were thinking of doing a fantasy football show, and that's where we were going to bring Claudio in because of his years of running leagues and his expertise there, which, by the way, we're going to do a fantasy football show. We're getting that production together, so that's going to be fun. We got our cast and crew ready to go. But anyway, Claudio then comes up with an idea as he's stretching his legs on his first show. He's fucking nervous. I ain't doing it. No fucking way. Shayne almost broke and gave it to him. Like, Phil,
Give him 1 week.
What the fuck? No fucking way. I produced this open. It's going to be great. If he fucks up, it's even funnier.
Fuck it, we're doing it live.
We're doing it live. So this
Bill
now
O'Reilly
has become America's favorite, of Chicago Bear America's favorite segment. And here on Keepin' It 100, cut it out. Hey, cut it out. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you must have been at the top of your fucking class.
It's Claudio the Barber.
Cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out. Just cut it out.
Cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out. Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Man, cut that shit out. Cut it out. Cut it out.
It's Cut It Out with Claudio the Barber. Hey, you gotta let me talk, Phil. Hey, you gotta let me speak. Claudio is gonna be bringing a new sense to Keepin' It 100. It's Cut It Out with Claudio on the Tape Never Lies Network.
Oh, yeah. Cut it out.
Cut it
Look,
out.
he's got the scissors.
I got the scissors.
Let's
And
isolate on you.
You know what? Last week, I'm going to try to top it. I'm going to
There
try
we
to
go.
top the walrus from last week. I know the walrus
You want me to
came and... What's up?
You want me to run it, Phil? There you got
Yeah.
it. Okay, I'll
You
do
could
it.
do it. You
All right.
got
So
this
I don't
down.
wanna- All right,
let's
put
hope
him up.
the
Put him
video
up there.
comes. All right, let's do
ISO
this.
on him. He's good.
Yep.
He's frozen.
He is frozen.
Ah.
Perfect timing.
That's what.
Smoke weed every day.
Actually, can you put him up there? It's pretty sweet. I could get a picture of that.
Hold on. I was just trying. What he fucking removed himself.
No.
That motherfucker. Cocksucker.
So, guys, crazy weather we've
Listen,
been having.
Yeah.
Listen.
I mean,
Every one of those
StreamYard.
people,
Gotta love StreamYard.
every one of those people in the Open is a
He's froze
Patreon.
again.
They're all Patreon members. Now he's dark.
All right.
Because he's living in a material world, and
Lord.
Claude is.
Hey, listen, I have an idea. You need to do LL Cool J knock you out for Javon Wims. That I think we've got to find that.
Oh, you didn't see the Open tonight. I did a little bit. While we wait for Claudio, let's replay the Open tonight. That'll be a little fun. All right?
Awesome.
Okay. All right, because you didn't get to see it. Where is it? Here we go.
The following show is for mature audiences only.
There's no fast forward button. Cards.
Shy City Sports.
And people, I wish I could get to it. Tape
So, what are you saying?
I'm saying that the spit could not have come from behind. That there had to have been a second spitter.
Stick 'em, ha ha ha, stick 'em. Stick 'em, ha ha ha, stick 'em. Stick 'em, ha ha ha, stick 'em. Gonna rock the beatbox in the best fucking rhythm. With the mind-blowing body rocking DPMC.
I did not see it. I totally missed it. I was looking down when I heard about it.
He's looking down.
What I
That's
did
the
here
problem.
is
There it is, coach.
completely.
He's looking at his card for the next play.
Just in general, it seemed like discipline was maybe an issue throughout this game, and some unforced errors. Do you agree with that? And can you pinpoint why that continues to be an issue?
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. You're right. There is issues there. That's what bothers me, and that's what pisses me off.
Yeah, I think the Bears need to go back to Mitchell Trubisky. Here's what. One, Rex, they got a great defense, right?
Yes.
If you're the coach, what's the number one thing you would tell the quarterback not to do?
Turn the ball over, period.
So then,
Protect
since
the
he's
football.
come in that Atlanta game, he's thrown for 5 touchdowns and 7 picks.
Like Wims, hopefully he learns from this. But there has to be accountability. just like you see Jimmy Graham. I'm calling him out. I've been the big Jimmy Graham supporter. What he showed out there today was bullshit.
I think Matt Nagy gets paid to make these difficult decisions, and this isn't working. Like, this isn't right. And on the other side, like, I disagree with Dan. I was kind of hard on the skilled players of the Chicago Bears too, but Allen Robinson can go. And this youngster from Tulane right down the street, Darnell Mooney, he can go. And so if you have a quarterback who understands that, and you have an offensive coordinator, you're talking about geniuses, Rex, they say that Matt Nagy's a true genius.
Big plays are nice. They're good.
I mean, he was birthed under Andy Reid. Well, I can't tell because you're only scoring 17 points a game.
Who's the leader on offense, and what do we get?
Exactly.
You're in year 3 under this head coach, and you don't know who the leader of this offense is? Just like Steve Edwards said, that's a fucking big problem.
I can't believe it. I don't see any rhythm. I don't see any rhyme or reason. You know, a lot of coaches like to have 15 plays that they go into. That'd be a change for him. Just do something different, for crying out loud. This is a disgrace. How ridiculous. Those linemen are terrible.
So now you bring in Mitchell Trubisky and you scrap what you've learned. You scrap what you know. You take your ego and your pride out of it and you build your offense so Mitchell Trubisky can succeed, so your offense can move. And if you don't do that, you're going to waste this great defense. You're going to waste your window, and you'll be looking for a new quarterback in the offseason, or at least the organization will, and they may be looking for a new head coach too.
I told everybody, Nick Foles is not a starting quarterback in the league.
You said
Anybody that would listen, he's not a starting quarterback. He's an excellent backup. Put him in a backup role. You benched the kid when he was 3-0.
He was actually 2-0.
By the way, this organization, they're brilliant also. They passed on, we all know it, Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes. You traded up to get this kid. Why? Because he is an athlete. Yeah. All right? He has a chance. And instead, you just throw him out with the bathwater for Nick Foles. It's a disaster right there. The kid's a great backup. Jeff Hostetler was a great backup. Right. Was he a great starter? Hell no. So to me, you made the mistake here. Do you have the guts, Nagy, to do it? Because if not, I hope I hope something happens.
If you don't like what we do, then there's lots of other places for you guys to follow.
This Bears team is fucking terrible.
How do you handle internal discipline versus sort of also waiting for potential league discipline?
Yeah, I really don't know that answer yet. You know, we'll get through that and figure out how that works. I haven't been through that before, so it's kind of new to me. So we'll just wait and see where that's at and collaborate together as an organization and figure out what's next.
Grow some balls. Jesus.
Grow some balls.
Grow some balls.
Man the fuck up, son.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers better know.
It's keeping it 100, motherfuckers. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Did you have fun with that, Cars?
I'm sure Rex Ryan saw pictures of Mitch's feet and was really excited about his potential.
It's so funny how
I
they
think
sweat.
that factored in quite a bit.
Get this motherfucker out. He's a bust now. It's over here.
Oh, I mean, Orlovsky was brutal. In the beginning part of the season, he's like, Mitch. And then midway through that Atlanta game, he's like, oh, you got to yank him. He's terrible. He's not a starter. And now he's like, oh, no, he's like, go run out of an end zone in Detroit again. Motherfucker. I hate Orlovsky's flip-flopping on that shit.
He's from Connecticut. You can never trust anybody from there.
We did beat Orlovsky Cars.
I met him. He's a good guy.
He is a good dude.
He's a good guy.
Oh,
Audio,
sure.
is he ready?
No.
I don't know. He's
still
a little slow-mo, but we'll try it. We'll play the...
Yeah. We'll
play it, and Claude, you got your audio. Try talking.
As long as you got your audio.
The StreamYard better man up because this shit is...
it's not happening.
It's the most frustrating thing.
You ready, Claude? We're going to try it, see what happens.
Try it, Claude.
1, 2, 3.
I'm talking. I'm talking right now.
Yeah, well, that sucked.
I don't see the video.
Nope, that was the perfect breakdown of that play.
All right, so Phil's gonna pinch hit for Claudio.
Okay. What? I haven't even seen these clips yet.
Yeah, you don't need to see a clip, Phil.
All right,
You've
let
got
me
material.
try.
You'll find.
All right.
Ready?
I'm pinching.
Here we go. A little Claudio.
Cut
Here we
it
go.
out. All right. Read option. Here goes Mitch diving down.
I don't see nothing. I don't see anything. This is
Leno. Here are the Bears.
No, I mean,
waffling.
I got a good point with the whole thing, but
Last time they were down here.
try to see what I'm trying to get at.
Here.
Go ahead.
The New Orleans Saints are using their backup quarterback. Be you. Be someone else.
Be someone else.
The point is that Nagy is trying to be like.
How does this?
Yeah, exactly, Claudio. That's what I thought. What you just said was perfect.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me right now?
Yes.
No, you can't.
We can hear you.
Yeah.
Did you? He
Yeah,
reset
on
his
a
whole
delay,
thing.
Big delay.
Oh.
I said, yeah.
So
this is
everyone's
don't even do the
favorite.
last one. Don't even do the second one. I'll do it another time.
Yeah.
Put it on Patreon or something.
All right.
Yeah, we can do that.
You
So
voice it over.
Because it's gonna be
cut it
good. It's
out.
gonna be good. That one would have been good too, but what are you
So
gonna
what
do?
was the premise of that? 'Cause I
The premise
trying
was
to figure-
Matt Nagy needs to be himself, not be like Sean Payton and use our quarterback as a. We don't do that. We never do that. They do that with Taysom Hill, and it works. So you know what I mean? He's trying to be like somebody else. He's trying to bite off somebody else. So cut it out. That's what my point was.
Okay.
All
Son of a that
right,
fucking
so-
bootleg
but
internet.
The
He's
next
right.
one we'll do.
hold up, I'm texting Funk right now.
Listen, you guys said it's StreamYard.
You had a
bro.
good you had a good run, kid.
You and I, like, welcome to your
ain't just
suspension.
me.
I'll send you the kit they
Try
sent
the-
me.
Phil
It'll be
looked
fine.
like a Minecraft character at the start of the fucking show.
But his audio was
Take
never
a
bad.
picture, please. And I'm like,
Oh shit!
oh man,
I'm gonna leave my phone on
we all
camera.
could have went like this.
That
I better
would've
get out of here.
It would have been a new T-shirt by Acevedo. We better pray to the God of skinny punks.
You could get him with his arms like that and then somehow make the image all jumbled and frozen. It would be a best-selling T-shirt. I think.
Great.
well,
to have.
Oh,
Claudio's- there he is.
So
Hey, try going into your cam mic and
Yeah.
put your video down to 480p and see if that less, HD will help your system run correctly.
Gotcha. All right. Let's see.
Because we've
480p.
tried all. We reset it. Retro.
All right.
Someone said Control Alt Delete. Try that.
All right. I went down to 480p. So
All right, remove
play a
yourself
video.
now.
Okay.
Remove yourself, then come back.
Yep.
It's always fun when the listeners get to watch us do
Yes.
tech support live.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
is it plugged in?
we're
Did you-
definitely gonna leave a message for StreamYard because it's someone take a picture. It's not Claudio's internet.
No, it's definitely not.
All right, now you're moving and talking. So
I'm
let's
talking,
try to
moving,
do it right
on
away,
time.
Shane. Yep.
So we're gonna do a
hurry
second
up,
Now
one?
Shane.
you're
Hurry up.
delayed a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
delayed
delayed.
still.
Yeah.
Oh, you're delayed like
Yeah.
Action Parks. Fucking.
Yeah, this sucks. Sucks. I had a.
You didn't cut your
we'll put it
fucking Ethernet cable with those big fucking scissors, did you?
No. It's
Can you hardwire
It's
into the new owner's internet?
no.
No.
No. It's just Wi-Fi.
All right. Well,
Well-
so we have a segment here on the bottom
What
of
are
the
you gonna
screen
do,
rolling
man?
across.
We'll-
We can
here
move
We'll
we
just
go.
have to put it up.
We'll have to put it up. You're gonna have to voice it over and send it to Shane.
Yeah, there we go. We'll do
Hector's got it right. Close the Pornhub tab. Thanks. That's
Yeah,
my
exactly.
Pornhub statement. Get that in, and
Unplug.
we're good to go.
Tony, unplug. Listen.
that. Dude, why did I not
Claudio's-
think of that?
All right, our next
okay.
segment. We're still waiting to produce the open for this, and I got a bone to pick. I send you guys a message. You guys live for the rant. I'm asking you to do a rant. Send it to me immediately after the Bears games. Just send a DM. I'll put it up and get it ready for the open. We only got that one kid who sent me a DM there. So I know our guy, my man Funk Jones. I don't know if he's in the chat tonight. I know he's going to be ready this week. I told him right after the game, send me your rant, your emotional moment. Somebody step the fuck up. Do it. If you're a patron, do it. If you're not, give me some passion. Everyone talks about it in DMs. I want to come on with you guys. I got hype. Just send me a video of that. I got to scout you. I got to see your tape. See if it lies, Cars.
I think we got to do it American Idol style, right?
Yeah.
For judges.
Yeah.
Listen,
We need to, we need to weed out some of these. I don't give a fuck that he smokes weed. They all smoke weed.
Smoke weed every day.
Fuck.
Tell them where they send the
I said
DMs,
weed.
Phil.
I said weed.
It all goes down in the DMs.
At Phil_Toshin. You could send it there or DM me on Facebook. If you send me a message and you're not following, I'm going to answer you. I promise. I get a lot of...
Yeah, you can
DMs.
send them to me too, and I'll make sure that Phil gets them.
Yeah, you could send it to Shayne. At Wazram on Twitter, if you're on Twitter.
Phil, send a DM to where? I don't have any social media. Well, check your mailbox tomorrow, Retro. We'll
do it by smoke signal. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I've gotten DMs from people with passion. So just send me a DM, Facebook, Phil Otoshin. You could see it on my name here. Let's OTTOCHIAN. There he is, the funkster. There he is. He's going to be ready. If you want to see passion, this dude brings it. And Cherie brought some passion. Will Hill is the guy. Cut it out.
Did Cars just give her a new nickname? Oh shit, Cherie.
Oh shit, Cherie.
Yeah. Oh shit, Cherie. We forgot the predictions. Oh shit, Cherie. We forgot.
It is
this.
Cherie's segment, and we're
It
still
is.
producing it. I need to get a song open. We're gonna do it though. I'm gonna get to it, Cherie, this week, next week. I'm taking a break tomorrow from anything that has to do with cutting or doing.
Oh my God, I know
One
I am
day.
too. Yeah,
One
there's
day.
there's not going to be any surprise show tomorrow. I promise you.
Yeah, I'm taking one day off, clear my head. Friday, I'm back. I probably will end up picking up my phone and making a song, but I'm giving myself. I love you, Funkster Jones, Steven Nageshi. He is on Patreon. He's dying to be on the show, right? Got to bring that funk.
You're gonna be dying a little bit longer because you ain't coming on tonight, bro.
not tonight, but
hit us
BHL.
up on hit us up on BHL, Steven.
He's coming on
Yeah.
BHL.
We're
gonna do a whole show with patron only.
We are. Yeah.
We're definitely 5 minutes each. We're gonna have Claudio do the timer if his fucking Wi-Fi works.
We are at 414 right now. Phil and I have agreed when we get to 500, whoever number 500 is going to be, you get to pick.
choose.
You can come on Keep It 100. You can come on BHL.
For the whole show.
Yeah, for the entire show, you get to come on. We'll let you do Claudio's segment in case he lags out. Anything.
You can take over for Claudio for the
You're gonna cut him out, is what's gonna happen. That's for sure.
Poor Claudio. He's such a team player. Anyway, let's start it off with the resident nerd. Give me that nerd alert. It's becoming
Nerd alert!
There you go. Cars, your prediction for the game and your bold prediction. All of us picked the Bears to lose last week against the Saints. We all were correct. So here we go again.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. He left him there.
You motherfuckers.
They DM me right there.
So I don't have a good feel for this, especially since they just lost to Cincy, even though Cincy had all 5 backup linemen. I think Tennessee is a bit of a fraud team, though. I don't think that their you don't have to worry about the receivers. You have to worry about one guy. But I just don't feel good. So I have us losing 20-17. I think Tennessee is just the same kind of level of fraud as we are. My bold prediction, Riley Ridley will get 9 offensive snaps, Shayne. That is bold.
Hey, it's better than 0.
Offensive
it's better than 0.
9 offensive snaps is going to be I think for me the biggest one is going to be Mooney is going to be the guy getting 100 yards receiving this week.
I love it. Mooney over 100, and you're doing 2. Huh?
I was joking about the Riley Ridley 9 snaps.
Oh, you're joking.
There's no way he's getting that much.
I was totally taking you seriously. Like, dang, going for it. Make it into existence. Maybe it'll work. Claudio, before you're...
Am I on delay, or you guys hear me good?
You got you.
We got you.
Good. All right. Real quick, bold prediction, Montgomery over 100 yards. I don't know about 20 carries, but over 100 yards. And you know what, dude?
Really,
the only thing consistent is inconsistency in the NFL. So we had a big loss. I think we're gonna get a big win. We're gonna win this game, 20-17.
Oh, the opposite way.
Yes.
Cars went.
I didn't even hear his.
Yeah, you don't listen to me. It's okay.
No, I don't.
Nobody here does. It's
but
fine.
Let's go because you know what? We could have won that game, like I said in the open, and we can win it. Obviously, Derrick Henry is the issue. We have to stop him at all costs. But I think we could pull it out.
Well, your internet is at its best. It's been all night.
It is.
You're not your internet because
Fuck
that's not true.
StreamYard.
It's
Exactly.
StreamYard.
Fucking StreamYard.
It really is a StreamYard issue.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get this patched up. I'm gonna go next, Shayne. My bold prediction is the Chicago Bears are going to hold Derrick Henry under 80 yards rushing. The Chicago Bears are going to hold Derrick Henry under 80 yards rushing, and they are going to win this football game because they did such a thing. And they will win, let's see, 17-10. Chicago Bears, 1 defensive touchdown by the Bears defense, and a touchdown.
Who gets it?
I'm going to say it's going to be... That's a great question. Fuck.
Brent Urban. Go crazy for this one. Just go crazy.
He's going with Gibson. He's thinking Gibson.
No, I'm going Kyle Fuller. Kyle Fuller is going to get it. Kyle Fuller is due. He's due for a pick, especially against this dude.
Oh my God, his wife will fuck.
There it is. There it is.
Wife will drink a whole cup.
It froze.
Yeah,
it sounded like a god.
Such a good point to make too. You know, it was almost going to be like it was a pretty good one, and then it just
light from the heavens was just going to open up and shine down upon this moment.
Oh
yeah.
my Lord.
Bring the.
It's 100 crew hot takes.
You gotta have that, Claudio. Shayne Marsaw.
So I am picking a score of 26-15. Tennessee Titans are going to win. And my bold prediction is Cairo Santos kicks 5 field goals.
So wait, I'm doing math.
That's 15 points.
That is the correct math. I was just...
I'll handle that part of the show, Phil.
That's Syracuse education coming out, Phil. I can count.
I was doing the math. There you go. Claudio's back.
Let's try it for the 50th time.
Yeah, we tried.
It might be the Rex. Take the Rex Grossman jersey down. That might help. That might give you something.
I'm already rearranging his whole background for him.
I think my background's good. Somebody was asking me about my neon.
Someone
asked me about the neon.
I think the flag that I bought you just needs to replace that banner next to the Gerlacher. That one, yeah, that up there. Get that out of there. Put the flag like this one.
Are you talking about this one right here?
Yeah, that. Get that
thing
out
is
of
old
there.
school, bro. That's vintage.
Yeah, it's vintage on the ground too.
that's Neil Anderson days right there. That's
Neil Anderson.
days.
Do you remember
All
what
right,
college
Hector,
you went
you gotta
to?
throw up Hector's comment because right now Hector wins the evening. Hector.
Oh, Hector has a comment. I can't
Oh
see.
yeah, that's the win of the
Phil's
evening.
math is
Hector,
Nice, that's a
terrible
double-
at
a double
geography
win.
and math. Everything else I could do. But
That's
those
the
two
win
things-
right there.
Yes.
The bad part about it is Phil's like, wait, I'm trying, and I'm like, fuck, did I add that wrong? He threw me off. He threw me off for a
I
second.
was just joking in that, but it worked. I'll take the blunt of the joke there. But yes, everybody predicted Claudio with all your troubles. I guess you can't bring up a beat or anything. So
No,
am I
definitely.
gonna have to do it for us?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find a beat for our shout out segments. Oh man, 1,700 commercials. You guys can talk. All right.
The Industrial Revolution was neither industrial nor revolution. Let's discuss.
Here we go.
We are all now stupider after hearing.
Yeah.
There we go. I love how it shares it on the big screen. Can you guys hear it?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
There
Definitely
we go. All right. Shout outs. Get our Spencer Strong. Hash it up. Spencer Strong, our guy, Ryan Cox. Also a Patreon subscriber. Refuses any freebies. Supporting his boys. We love you and your family.
Let's be honest, we haven't offered him anything for free.
You gotta sell that shit higher than you are right
Listen, trying to keep it 100, like right up there on the top of the screen. Keep it 100. Cars, do you have any shout outs?
now. Well, I mean, I always have to shout out my son, Dustin. I hope he's doing well. No, but other than that, no, I have not been active, so I have no idea what's going on in the world. So no, I'm good.
Yeah, no politics, please.
No politics. No.
Should we tell Roble that Mitch is probably not going to be coming in the second half?
Roble, the Mitch Trubisky is injured, so he is going to be out. There's my guy Josh E. I don't know. Coach Nagy didn't give an update on Mitch's, return or how bad it was. It was kind of
Yeah, they're talking. I mean,
Political
NFL
statement.
Network guys are talking structural damage, so that doesn't sound. I mean, I think it's highly unlikely he's doing anything this week.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
It's done probably for the season.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, Chris Gonzalez thinks he's played through injuries before, Shane. Will he do it again?
Well, no, because he's back at quarterback.
Tyler Bray is your backup this week? Is that what we're thinking?
Yeah, and the Bears have brought in a couple of guys that they're working out. Kyle Sloter, and then the other one was with Ruddick.
Yeah. Wasn't he an Iowa quarterback, Ruddick?
I think so. He was
Wasn't
with
he out of
Detroit.
Iowa?
Wasn't he with Detroit at one point?
Ruddick?
yeah.
I don't remember. Slaughter I remember with Minnesota and Detroit,
Yeah.
but I don't remember.
Slaughter
Ruddick at all.
played at Colorado State. He transferred there. I remember
Yeah, it's
reading.
Jake Ruddick, right? Isn't that his
Ruddick, I think he played at Iowa. Where's our chat room? Our chat room GMs aren't helping us tonight.
Well, Claudio's not on screen, so they've all.
Yeah. He was Iowa and Michigan.
Iowa and Michigan. That's
Yeah.
right. Oh boy, I
Yeah,
would
he's-
be excited about Jim Harbaugh as our coach, but that's next week's show.
He'd fit in perfect because he doesn't like to bring in quarterbacks.
Yeah, you can't figure out the quarterback
figure
position
it
in
out.
Michigan either.
Oh my god, I haven't had.
Yeah, the Miami Dolphins did draft her. The Bears were interested in him in the draft late rounds, and Miami took him in the 6th round. Or sorry,
Ruddick.
Detroit did. Yeah.
Ruddick, yeah, that's amazing.
It's like DiNucci and the Cowboys, right? That
Yeah,
was the other
well,
one.
thank God they took him.
Jesus.
Jesus.
They're pulling him already.
Who's that? The
Cowboys.
Cowboys are pulling that kid already, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, that's what it's like being a Cowboys fan. For us in the shout-out segments, Cars, Claudio's back somewhere in the back alley of some whole bunk town, and
I just picture him being like, what do you mean PC load letter, and just beating the shit out of a printer somewhere. That's all I see.
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
Crazy.
Poor Claudio.
He's going to say all sorts of mean things to his router when he gets offline here.
Here's this cartoon above you. Let's just keep that up in case he leaves again. We'll have there it is. So he's a part of the show, the moderator. Cars, we got this sexy, seductive jazz beat for your shout-outs. Who do you got?
I already went. You don't even.
That was it.
Phil's not paying attention.
You don't never listen to me.
I thought you had more than Dustin Reagan. I thought.
No, I only shout out my son. Week in, week out. We've been through some things, so no, I think that's.
All right, that's it. Claudio, Bueller.
Kenneth with the Mr. Positivity comment tonight.
Well, Kenneth, there's a chance. Shayne, do you have any shout-outs tonight?
I really don't, Phil. No,
Nothing?
I'm not going to shout anybody out tonight. Shout you guys out. We're kicking ass here at the Tape Never Lies Network, getting bigger and bigger every week. This slow, steady growth is exactly what we want. We want to push up to that 500 mark in Patreon so we can have on our special guest. So if you are listening and you haven't subscribed yet, for $7 a month, you're going to get expanded coverage of everything. You're going to get the pop-up shows, halftime reports, BHL, Keepin It 100. You're going to get the extended version of The Tape Never Lies. You're going to get a coach's clinic with Phil and his dad. You're going to get so many things. All of our
Zoom
off-season
calls.
stuff. Yeah, you're going to get personal Zoom calls, everything.
Q&As.
Phil and I
Might
are
be doing a Q&A this weekend.
Phil and I are talking about maybe something with college football where we can hook up here on StreamYard and do some college football, and we can talk about guys that you should watch and concentrate that might fit what Chicago is doing.
You sure you want to
draft.
share all this? Because I know other networks.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, they can't do it like we do it.
There you go. That's
So, but for $7 a month, if you go over to tapeneverlies.com, you can sign up for $7 a month. If you do it before December 31st, you're going to be locked into that $7 a month price point for life. No matter how much more we expand, you will never move beyond that $7 a month charge. And if you sign up after that, there will be, maybe in time, there will be a price increase. So I jumped in on Sirius way back in the day in 2006 at you paid $400 up front, and I've never gotten a bill sent. So it's kind of the way that we look at it. So shout out to the new Patreons this week. Shout out to the 100 crew in the comments tonight. Let's get some positivity going here. Let's go to Nashville. Phil, one thing we can talk about. We were supposed to be there. I was supposed to fly to Nashville this morning.
Yep.
Everybody was going to the Bears-Titans game to hang out for the week and enjoy the game on Sunday. Obviously, COVID took over our country, the world, and changed a lot of things for all of us. Cars, I know your kids' school and my kids' school is shut down right now. It's not going away anytime soon, but yeah, we were supposed to be there, and I think it would have been a whole bunch of fun for a lot of people because I think we would have tore up Nashville, that's for sure.
I totally agree. I wish I was there, chilling with all you fans, breaking it down, talking, tailgating, having fun.
Cherie said I could even stay in her room, so.
Well, that would be interesting. I don't know how
she wanted to book the
Hila
stamps.
would handle that.
Little Marsaw sandwich never hurt anybody.
I don't even know where to go with this right now. I'm so uncomfortable.
Let me do my shout outs here. I got to shout out all the new Patreons. I always say patrons, or is it Patreons?
Patrons.
Whatever you want.
Well, I'm trying to learn it. All of you guys in the chat, Bullets, Jackal, Mike D, Avon, Will Hill, my boy, what was his name earlier? Retro, Tony, Salamansky. Kenneth Johnson, Evan Wells. I see you guys. My boy, the Funkster Jones, Dan Kelly, Josh E, Cherie, obviously. Even Roble and HL Priest. HL Priest was hyped tonight. Heisenberg, Stephen Nageshi. That's it. Stephen Nageshi. He's reaching out to me. He wants to get on the show. Jose Delgado. Shayne, we got such a wonderful message. I didn't ask if I could read it, but I will say it was very heartfelt to me and you from one Kino Cappuccino.
Yeah, we did. That was great.
Just very touching, very honest, very thorough, and really the emphasis on thank God we moved to this network, and really I truly appreciate that. She's a Patreon for life. A lot of the Patreons, Shayne tonight, Chuck and Lydia, Jose Delgado, Thomas Adams, Justin Smallwood, Brennan Wesley, Gina Carlson. She was live on BHL, and Gina was so excited because of her, getting, like, we don't discriminate here. I don't fucking care. Like I said, if you have a blue check mark or you're a guy or a girl, you talk football and you bring your truth. There's no discriminating against that. And Gina is now a Patreon. Gina Carlson. She is so excited about it. And her and her father, I believe, are new members, and we're excited that you're a part of the family. Adrian Hernandez, big fan. Cornelius Squalls, Dalton Anderson, Dave Hallis. How about that name? Caleb Steck, Terry Tracy. I've already shouted out the Funkster, but he's there in Patreon. Astro Rock, Michael Williams, Claudio Abreu from Canada. My boy Eric Thomas. He is a new Patreon. Jay Davis, David Arai, Pat McShay, Mike Pepler, Danny Anye, Bob Ventura, Alex Thaler, Anthony Serrano, Robbie Perez, Matthew Clark, Phil F, K Wilson. You guys have been tremendous. Thomas Adams and 26, Jody Lee Clausen, Nathan, Matt Byer, Jason Eng, number 312, Shayne. 312. Where's my boy Eric Curry? Megan, Edgar Mendez, George Hordcraft, Connor Pertain. He's in Rhode Island. I go, you got to come to Connecticut. Me and Claudia will take you to the pizza place. Captain Alba, Daniel Suela, and my boy Isaac Nieves. I gotta shout all those new Patreons and beginning patrons. I want to know who the first one was to sign up, Shayne. That would be dope. We never ever
The very first one I can tell you in about 2 seconds.
do that. Let's shout out that person. The first one to believe in our network. I could tell you it wasn't Robert Schmitz. Could tell. Where is a beat? Can I get? Here's Claudio's beat. Let's do it for Claudio. Here you go.
All right. Well, it doesn't have an actual name on here, but it goes by Enigmas.
Enigmas. You were the first one in there. I want to shout out my boys on Instagram, Football with Coach Eric, my boy Quentin Botha, Jeff Roth, Brett Selms from Australia, Jack, who came on BHL, Obviously, I already shouted out Bullets. Linebacker coach Ryan Billings. Love that dude. Him and his dad, Jay Billings. How about Miles Schwartz? And Zach Bradley, one of the first Laughing Ace, Kaz 34545. How about my boy, I can't even read that name. Last one. Where are you? Shit. There you are. Nola Survivor. This guy's always shouting us out on Instagram, on the gram. AJ Smith, I see you in the chat. The Factor 1. You guys have been tremendous to us. What a night. And I would be remiss if I didn't shout out the legend tonight that came on with us, Olin Kreutz. How awesome was he? Giving us his time, an hour of his time, and really breaking it down. So you guys have been tremendous tonight. We're gonna be live at halftime of Patreon only. We go live. We discuss what happened in the first half, and then I rant a talk to the fucking team. If you haven't seen that, you should get in there because I get fired up. If you like the rants, you're gonna like that. And then obviously after the game, BHL, we're gonna try to do something special this weekend and play around with this thing. Hope maybe we go a little Q&A for Patreon. So get over there, subscribe. 43 minutes of analysis there on The Tape Never Lies. The Tape Never Lies did come out today. Get over there and check it out. As I'm stalling to find the ender here. Jesus. I need my glasses, Cars. Jesus Christ.
Here, borrow mine.
There it is. I found the ender. Anybody have a last words? Claudio, you okay?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, but we
can't see me.
Got shout outs, Claude?
I did
one
have a
shout
few
out.
shout One
go
shout
ahead.
out.
No, go ahead. Go a couple, Funk.
All right, listen. I had a few guys in the chat that I wanted to.
I love this group. I really do.
What is that?
What is that? I didn't even listen.
Just talk while
fucking freaking me out.
It looks like the joy is happy.
Are you? You got too much time on your hand, motherfucker. What the fuck is that?
What do you think I've been doing for the past 20 minutes?
Is that where your head is? I thought you fell asleep during his shout-outs. I thought you fell asleep during Phil's shout-outs.
You're even blinking. Look at you.
What are you doing? I look like I had a stroke. What the fuck?
It really almost like when that acid trip hits.
That's fucking weird. All right. Oh my god.
Just keep talking, Cloud. We'll
Shout out to my grandkids. Are gonna have to see this in fucking 20 years.
Oh,
so
man.
I don't know. Listen, shout out to Anthony Kozinski. I don't know if you shouted him out. Heisenberg, I had to mute him because he brought politics up, but
oh jeez,
hey, shout out because I like what you said. Craig McQueen, Bears Truth 9, and Kofi Ohamang.
Look at that, Kofi.
And my wife and my kids.
Nice.
There you go.
What a show. Hopefully you hear it if you're on the podcast version, or you can listen to it real quick on the business side, Shayne. You can find it at all.
Keepin It 100 can be found on all podcast streaming apps: iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Overcast, Castbox, Deezer, and finally, officially on Google Music and Podcasts. It's Keepin It 100 with Phil and Shayne.
There you go. We've officially done it all. Gotta love you guys. We'll see you back next week. We don't have a guest yet. That's the first time. We've got no one scheduled. Is next week the week we're gonna go on Thursday? Shane?
No, it's the week of the 18th.
Okay, so the week of the 18th, we're gonna go on Thursday. Next week, live Wednesday here on Shy City Sports presents Keepin It 100.
This has been a Shy City Sports presentation and a Tape Never Lies Network production. Keepin It 100. Thanks for tuning in to the Tape Never Lies Network.